Yo, hello?
What
Yo, can you hear
happened?
me?
Yeah, what happened? Oh, that's how you
You know
look.
what?
Uh,
You see what's happened here? My computer just done a madness. I don't know. I don't even understand what's going on here. So what I've had to do, I've just logged on my phone for a second
hmm.
while I'm sorting it out. But yeah, sorry about that.
It's all right. You look
For
good,
some
innit?
reason, it's letting me in the room, but it's not letting me activate. Like, I don't know. I think I've not downloaded the
Where are you
drivers
not getting
properly,
your
something
hair?
like
Where are
that.
you not getting your hair cut? Which barb? How come you lot got all trimmed and everything? What's going on?
Hey, listen, man's not to be looking too rough out here, you know, like that. I know it's Corona and that, but
Right.
we used health and safety,
What?
gloves and masks and all them thing there.
Plastic
Yeah,
bag?
we done it properly.
What? Just a mask, no plastic between you.
Do you know what? I'm struggling to hear you, you know.
Can you hear me now?
Kind of.
All right. Let me take this
I
out.
think it's because I'm on my phone now. The phone is just never the greatest sound. Let me try the headphones in the phone. Yeah, this is frustrating, man. So if anyone else is out there and you've got a little bit of time to come and, join the discussion, it will be a nice time right now because I need to fix this connection. This is crazy. Now, I do apologize about this, everyone, but maybe you could give us a bit of, give people a bit of a background on what you know about the Boule while I'm doing that, Annie.
Yeah. Well, basically, it's a program. Well, it was on YouTube. It's a YouTube kind of thing going on now, but it's kind of old. It's not really new news like you were saying. It's just basically the fact of there are black people who are in power, like who have got what you would say got clout, and they're rubbing shoulders with the elite, but at the same time they're put in place to kind of do a duty. They're not really there, like they're up there saying they're helping black people and they're doing stuff for black people, but they're all part of a fraternity. So
Yeah,
it's not really, they're not really as they seem. So obviously
yeah,
I don't want to give too much away, but basically, I want everybody else to be able to join the discussion. So basically the people who we think are there for us, the black people in power who are there for us, really they're not. They're just there to sort of like appease us and to keep us on a level and not to help us to make an uprising, as though, like they're saying, they're basically there to keep us below and to keep us beneath the elite and to make sure that we don't kind of overpower the elite and sort of like get the rights that we're supposed to be getting. So, politics, laws, government, all these people who are saying, yeah, we're there for you people, we're there for you, they're not. They're nothing to do with it. They don't give two hoots about us, really. And obviously, we as a people, we see a black person up there thinking that they're there for us, but we're basically being bamboozled. And it's
yeah,
something that we need to know about as a people because, we put our heart and soul into, especially if we see that they're a black person in power, we seem to sort of like gravitate towards them and think, yeah, they're great and they're doing stuff for us, but really they're not. They haven't got really our interest at heart whatsoever. They're not thinking
yeah,
about us. All they're thinking to do is to just keep us down. There's an agenda out there to keep black people down, working class people down. And it's not just a black thing, but obviously from our point of view, we are looking at the black leaders who we think are there for us, but they're not there for us. And this is something we need to know who these people are and just be aware, even in our own surroundings. What I call them double agents, to be fair.
double agent. I like that one still. Double agents, yeah.
Yeah, my friend Khadija told me about that word because it so happened there was a guy on a radio station and he was like talking like it's all black power, black power. But when we've had this idea of what we've been discussing even on the Shiffa show about we should go to Africa and set up. He started laughing about it and saying, "Oh, do you really think that's?" And it was a bit shocking because I thought, hold on a minute, you're acting like you're all there for the black people and you should be actually trying to promote something. I'm not saying everyone's going to go, but he shouldn't be gearing it down as a bad idea. And I thought, you're a double agent, mate. Do you know what I mean? You're not really there for the people. It's like Sometimes they just want to keep us in a certain place so that they can lord it over us. And he's that type of guy. He just wants to lord it over people and go on like he knows everything. He even said, oh, I'm even in talks with the government and this and that. And I thought, oh, yeah, you're in talks with the government. Okay, that's a bit strange. You're in talks with the government, but right now you ain't really helping nobody out here. So what are you talking about? You're in talks with the government talking what? You know? So these people who say, yeah, we're here for you. We're going to be doing this for you. We're going to be making new laws. You know, get your votes. Really, are they really there for us, or they're there for themselves and rubbing shoulders with the elite and just trying to appease us to get in? So yeah, it's deep. It's deep, and we have to realize there's people within our communities, leaders, community leaders, who are saying things to act as though they're for us, but they're not for us. And unless we open our eyes, we're going to keep relying on these type of people to get us out of the shit, and they're not going to change anything for us. And it's pretty deep because we're relying on these people and they're not doing anything for us. And it's not right. And big names, you know, big names. If you watch the video, you can see there's big names who are involved in it. Big celebrities. All doing this stupid dance. Do you see the dance? Oh my days. It's like some slavery thing, man. It's deep. Good evening, Gully Yanko. Haven't seen you for a while. The Wisdom of Young Lion. DC Brad. Don't even know who's on here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello, Annie, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry. Do you know what? I've got it working now. Finally. Oh my God. That was so annoying. Frustrated. I'm not gonna lie, I was
Where's
frustrated.
the rest of the
When
crew
you
now? I bet they didn't watch the video. That's why they're not even showing their face.
No, do you know what? I was just having mad technical difficulties. My battery's been dead on my phone, so I was lucky. I managed to just get it to turn on to come and like let you know what was happening. Do you feel what I'm trying to say? And then everything just malfunctioned. I think it's the heat, you know.
Could be.
You know, when things get too hot. No,
yeah.
nine times out of 10, when things get too hot, that's when everything starts malfunctioning.
No, for real. What computer
humid as well.
have you got? What laptop have you got?
It's not a great one. It's only a little Intel thing, but like you know, when they get hot, that's when they start playing around.
Yeah, what you got to make sure you got it on like a hard surface, not anything soft.
Yeah, that's better. It's working now. Jeez. All right. So what I'm gonna say is, where did you, what got you into the conversation of Black Boule? Who did you learn about it from?
So somebody
what
sent
led you down that road?
Someone sent me a video of it, innit? So obviously with all what's going on, with all the black this, black that, black this, black that. So everyone's digging out merchandise, that's what I can say. Everyone's digging it out and trying to sort of like bring things to light. It's like knowledge, isn't it? So everyone's just trying to show people what's going on and what time it is, because when you think about it, like we're saying, like you've got all these leaders, they're up there doing things, but how come they've never changed anything within the community? How come they've all got money? How come they've not opened schools? How come they've not done this? How come? It's because they're not allowed to do it. They're only allowed to spend money on cars and houses and, you know, to make it look like that's what it's all about. But they're not really like the Beyoncés. I know they have their little charities and whatever, but by now they should have built communities.
Yeah.
To black people, to be fair. They haven't done it. None of them have ever come back and said, right, I've come from the ghetto or I've come from this. Let me start building up the ghetto. No, they get into this fraternity and they forget who they are. Or maybe they enter it innocently even some of the big guys like Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X. All these people were possibly involved at some point in it. Now, they were killed because they realized, hold on a minute, this is not what I thought it was. and they've come out of it and started obviously speaking about the real issues, and then they were killed because, hold on a minute, that wasn't what the deal was. And I think if we go back and look at their speeches and look at throughout time how their speeches changed, and then obviously they reverted back, especially Marcus Garvey. I think he was part of it at one stage, but he realized that it was wrong, and then he came out and started talking, and they killed him. So it's
when you say Marcus Garvey, you sure you're not meaning Martin Luther?
Marcus Garvey was almost in it as well. Didn't you watch it? I think
I did watch it still.
Yeah, Marcus Garvey kind of touched in it as well, I think.
See, I never got that from it, so that's why I was asking. Was in reference? Was it Martin Luther? Because
Martin Luther, definitely.
Yeah, Martin Luther was referenced a few times. He was referenced a few times, so that's why I'm thinking. But obviously, Marcus Garvey. The thing is now, from what I'm remembering of it, maybe I missed the part where they put him in that limelight. But from what I was hearing of Marcus Garvey was that they just wanted to bring him down from day one. He was the start of it all, innit? All of the revolutionary stuff. He was literally the start. So they were just against him full stop. He never got a chance to be on that side of things. But then other people came in like Martin Luther, Al Sharpton and whoever else. Yes. And off the back of it, they've piggybacked and made their own movement that ain't really for us, basically. Yeah. It's kind of what I was gathering from it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, it's kind of a tricky one because even when I was watching it, they was discussing that there was a guy who was an agent, who was working against Marcus Garvey. Yeah, he was working for the FBI.
Yes.
But then after Marcus Garvey dead, it's like he's doing everything Marcus Garvey said to do. So that one's a bit controversial as well, in the sense of, you know, like you said, some of them may have been gatekeepers, but then I've converted back. So it's a slippery slope, and we don't really know what side of the fence anyone really is on at any given time until they show their hand, innit? That's the truth.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know until they show their hand. But at the same time, what we have to do is be aware. This is just to make us aware that maybe sometimes we're backing people, but we don't know what their real agenda is. Just like the Black Lives Matter movement. Do you understand?
Yeah, but that's the same in anything, though, because at the end of the day, you know, especially as Black people, then when we see another Black person making it or get famous, doing anything, no matter what it could be they're a car driver, they're a motorbike rider, they're good at telecoms and they just got famous from it. They're good at whatever it is. They're a comedian, rapper, singer. We just, I don't know, we gravitate towards it because, you know, it's like they're living the dream that, you know, we all envisioned, didn't it? We envisioned that we could have that equality and we could get to the top of society, innit? So it gives us that feeling like we're actually doing something, innit, as a people. But really and truthfully, you know, I understand where you're coming from in a sense of what are they really doing other than just feeding their own agenda. Because when we talk about the Black agenda, the people investing in any Black agendas, from what I can see, are white people, 9 times out of 10. And then the Black people that are investing in the Black agenda are going to be it's more time the poor ones. The richer ones ain't really investing like that. And if they are, they've done it in a particular way, do you know, like that, where it seems a bit controversial. I'll be honest, some of it seems a bit controversial. When you watch it, like, it does kind of open your eyes to that, you know, people, like, they're acting like they're helping, but what are they really doing? Are they just trying to save face? You know?
Yeah, definitely. No, it's true. It's true.
I sure love.
They're trying to save face. Like, even when you think of Du Bois, do you know what I mean? Who was one of the famous Black people who are part of the revolution. You know, how could he be like one of them? He's in there, fully in the Boule, and he's looked up to. When you go back and you think of it, for me, it's very disheartening, and it's almost as though, do we stand a chance? Do we stand a chance? Do we really stand a chance? And apparently it's an elite homosexual secret society, you know.
See, all of that. I'll be honest. Like, I did hear a little bit about that with Martin Luther King's advisor was, you know, homosexual, whatever. Like, I'll be honest with you though. Like, when you're saying it's a homosexual secret society, you know, I've heard this in a lot of things. I've heard there's a homosexual secret society in music. There's a homosexual secret society in Hollywood. There's a homosexual secret society everywhere, man.
Yeah.
I should have loved. But why are they hiding though? I don't understand. Why are they hiding?
Why are they hiding? Because at the end of the day, it's only like, for me, it's not for me to judge, you know, and that's the God's truth. I don't care. Just, you know, I really don't care. And the reason why I don't care is because it's not for me to judge. Let God or the Almighty Creator be the judge of everyone, innit? It's not for me to judge. And that's how I really do, because otherwise I'll be going around judging and snaring and hating on people all my life. I can't. I've just got to worry about me and my life and my morals and values. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't care, so I don't know why these people are hiding. I really don't care. It's not my job to gird down whoever. I'm not going to judge a man because of their, or a woman because of their sexuality. That's your business. You deal with it. Can't bring that on me. Why should I take it on? And I think most of the time, too many people are worrying about these type of things, and they know society do care about that. They know society does care about that. You know, and people are going to judge them. But at the same time, if you're happy to do it, be proud, be a man and stand for what anybody, whatever you're doing, be proud and stand for that. Don't hide behind trees and walls and bricks and mortar. Stand up. Stand up and be who you are. And this is the problem. There's too many people hiding. What they call it? Cloaks and dagger. Too much cloaks and dagger going on. This is the problem. Cloaks and dagger. And I'm not down with it. Yeah? And this is the problem. And I just think people need to know. Even people like Idris, we don't know. I'm not calling no names. I'm not trying to draw anyone out either. But allegedly, he could possibly be one too.
All right, I'm back. So I did catch the tail end of what you were saying. I did like kind of threw it onto my phone quickly while I was trying to load it back up. But obviously, when you say people could possibly be one, like, how would we know the difference?
You know by what they do, because even when Idris come out with he's got Rona, yeah, them times there when he came out with it, was there even a test going around? Did they even have a test? How did he know he had Rona? Why was he coming out
no idea,
like trying to back the thing? Do you know what I mean? That kind of made my ears prick up like, hold on a minute. Is there a test? Is there a test? Was there a test at that time when he came out with it?
Well, even now, the test is a test that's used for other things. It's not a dedicated test.
Yeah, it's not a Rona test. It's not a Rona test. So these are the type of people that make me look at them like sideways and think, hold on a minute, who are ya? Who are ya?
So obviously, from the standpoint of, you know, understanding that there's this type of person out there as a black person, then what would you say is, you know, something, a strategy we should be using to deal with people like that?
Well, I think what we need to do is always analyze and be critical. I don't think we should be, because you know what we're like. Someone stands up and says, yeah, I'm for the black people. I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do that for you. We all try to do our best to support that. We don't want to be critical because we think, you know what, that person's there for us. They're fighting the cause for us. And we drop our guard quickly. And so I think we need to really research people and the background of organizations, the credibility of the people fronting them, and don't be so open, hands open wide, ready to accept anything they're saying and believe that they're going to do anything for us.
But then would you say it's fair to say, you know, with our community, sometimes we don't have a voice until they give us a voice, and we need to give ourselves a voice.
Absolutely.
And stop being voiced, because that's what I took from it. You know, a lot of these guys, you know, the Bill Cosbys and whoever that were pushed into the face of the public, like the R. Kellys and whoever else, you know, these are the ones who they're not even really smart enough to make it on their own. They're probably a bit dumber than the rest of us. So they got suckered in, and then they're being told what to say. They're being told how to act, you know, like that. So, you know, it's like, what was the man saying? He said that you got groups of white people that study black people and then sell blackness back to us.
Yes.
That don't make no sense, though.
That's because we don't read about ourselves. We don't read about our history. We don't. There's a lot of black people walking around and don't know the full history of how we even were the first people in England. As black people, you know, even though I say, we should go back to Africa because we originate from Africa, but it doesn't mean to say that we weren't the first people in the Americas and the first people before the white people came along. We were the people here first, believe it or not. And a lot of people don't delve into their history to be able to stand up strong. So that's why others can come and tell us about our history and teach us. They learn, they go and they study us. The World Health Organization, they have a summit on melanin every year. Come on.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that. That's news to me.
Yeah. Well, I've heard it. I've known this for a couple of years now, thinking when the first time I read it, I was like, what? Every year they're trying to learn about melanin. Do we know about it ourselves? Do we know that we need vitamin D to keep ourselves healthy as black people? Extra vitamin D. The sun, which we can get from the sun.
Yeah, it's strange how much research and stuff they're doing into these things, because I thought, you know what, that's what, I'll be honest, that's what I took from the main thing that I took from watching that film, that it's like, you've got a set of people who are making up their own idea of what blackness is and then selling it back to us. And then to make it even worse, you got enough of us playing up to it.
Yes.
And then when you talk to them about their history, talk to them about where they come from, talk to them about what they're supposed to stand for, they don't stand for nothing. All they stand for is, you know, if it ain't about money or, you know, something else that seems interesting to them, which 9 times out of 10 is something controversial, you know, they're just not interested. You know, so it's like, what was the word that it's like our brains have been whitewashed. The same way they was whitewashing them pictures of Jesus, they whitewashed your brain. And now you don't even know who you are anymore. So we don't like each other. We've been taught not to like ourselves. We don't like each other. We act like we like each other. So, you know, we're up at Black Lives Matter marches acting, really.
Acting,
you know, like that.
It's pure
acting.
Well, it is acting when you've got brothers going around still killing each other. It's a joke. You got people trying to kill us, and then you got our own trying to kill us. I put up a post on my Facebook page the other day. I said, black on black killing is a mental illness. And I really do believe it is a freaking mental illness. It's a psychological mishap going on there. Definitely. You can't be picking up your brother just for material things. A life, you know, stabbing him up 1,000,000 times in a frenzy because what? He slept with a chick, or he took your territory, or he took your drugs, or he took your money, or he stepped over the line. What the heck? That's a mental illness.
But obviously, everyone's lives a certain lifestyle, innit? Like, so you got people from all backgrounds that live certain lifestyles, innit? So I'm not gonna go too deep into that side of things.
But what
I'm just saying,
I understand that. I understand that, but we got to look at it as a bigger picture. You see, when I say mental illness, I don't even mean it in a derogatory way. I think these people who end up in prison, I think they should really be getting some kind of mental health help, assistance, counseling. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because for them to be able to kill a man, or whether it's black or white, to be fair, but obviously I'm black, I'm going to be talking about the black side of things. What they highlight on the mass media is a lot of black on black killing. Now, we know that there's a lot of possibly white on white killing, and we know that there are certain factors that generate this type of behavior, okay? It's your environment, it's your lifestyle, it could be, do you understand me? Poverty. There's a lot of things that...
Do you know what it is, though? It's the way it's done.
Yes.
You know? It's at the level, the level that it's done. Because, when we're talking about these black kids killing each other, they're kids, they're babies. They've not really, half of them ain't even lived any life yet. And you're out killing people or being killed. That's crazy. And then to make it even worse, it's like, how can I put this now? It's like you got people going out marching, talking about Black Lives Matter and protesting in peace, but someone's still dead on the same day and got stabbed up the same day. So we got no control over our community. That's the real problem I foresee. Not having control means that, when someone else comes in and says, well, you can't control, we have no argument for them. Do you feel where I'm coming from? But if we control our community, then we'd have more of an argument for certain things,
Yeah, but what's happening is we're putting or giving our power to these people who we're hoping are going to do these changes and change things for us in a way like, okay, yeah, they're going to try and sort out our community. They're going to try and get better schools. They're going to try, but at the end of the day, they do nothing. Yeah, they do nothing. They do nothing to help. Even if you look at America, especially in America, because it's so big, it's such a big place. And, if you think of the black population in America, and you've got all these people who have stepped forward to change and make changes, and nothing's ever changed. Like, where are the schools? Where are the laws being changed? Obviously this George Floyd thing has opened up a can of worms, and all these cases are coming up. Even that Rayshard guy the other day who got shot. You see that? And look how hard it is for them. Like, they've had so many cases of black people being shot by police, and they've only been able to bring a handful of them to justice. What's that all about?
Yeah, but this is the thing now, where there's an illusion among the community that because Michael Jordan's rich, that black people got money. That don't make sense. All right, because a few of us in the community have got half decent jobs. Do you know what? And we're paying off a mortgage on a house, and we've got a few assets. That's not wealth.
No,
wealth is in your community. Wealth is in the power of your community and being able to manipulate the system to your benefit. But a lot of us don't think like that. We think very
close-minded. Where you gone? You left me again.
Separatist. And it's a dangerous thing. I'm gonna be honest. It's a dangerous thing.
It is dangerous. And I just think, like, you got books, and you got all these history books telling us that these people were great, and these people done things for us, and these people were fantastic. But really, they weren't doing anything for us. They were turncoats. And does it mean that once we get to a certain level within society that we forget about where we come from? That's another aspect of it. Do we? Are we forgetting where we come from? Climb the ladder a little bit and it's like, okay, bye, folks. I don't remember them days when I was eating out of the same pot as you, or I was eating out of, we were sitting down reasoning together, and we was on that level, and we were trying to, when we spoke about if we ever got up there, what we would do and the changes that we would make. I'm on my own again. Yeah. Shiffa, where are ya? That's a crazy world we're living in. That's all I know. All believing that someone's there to save us. I think it's quite poignant what you said, Shiffa. We have to make our own decisions. We have to be our own voice. I think that's
Yeah.
definitely one of the things that I would definitely take from that. We have to be our own voice. We have to find like-minded people and keep checks and balances on the people around us to make sure they are doing the things that they say they're doing. Make sure they are trying to fight for the policies that save the young youth in the community, and not just trying to keep, let's keep them there. Let's not build up the community so that we can help them, because apparently, like you say, white on white killing goes on, like up in Glasgow and places like that. But it was a lot to do with their environment, their communities. And once their
Yeah.
communities got built up and the right money injected into those communities, it doesn't happen again. But what you find is in a London now, you've got these communities that the government are not injecting the money into. So you will
Yeah, of
find
course.
black
They
on
don't. In our communities, they don't inject money like that. What they'll do is, first, they'll get rid of all of the places where we congregate,
right, all
and
the
then
clubs, yeah.
they gentrify it. That's what they do.
Yes.
They
And
gentrify it.
then
So
electrify it, and then it's too expensive for you to live there, root you off. Oh, come on, you can move out now because, you built that community after all these years, your parents, your grandparents live in that area. And like you say, we gentrify it, and then you're worth nothing now because they want to bring all the yuppies in.
but more to the point is that, when they gentrify the area, for instance, people who had bought their houses years before that and had bought them at a lower value, when they gentrify the area, for some people, they're happy about it because, your house price has gone up, innit?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
for some people, now the price of living in the area is unaffordable. And that's the area, that's where you grew up. So in that respect, the people who have less aren't really looked out for. That's the truth of it.
Exactly.
That's the truth of it.
Exactly. Because obviously, like, even the area where my mum's from, they're actually doing a big regentrification of the area now, you know what I mean? And it's like, we're kind of like saying to her, you need to move out. And she goes, no, she's not going nowhere, because she knows that the house prices are going to go up. And I know that once that happens, she'll sell off and leave. Yeah. But obviously, she's in a position to do that. What about the people who are not in a position when they're going to start knocking down blocks of flats and saying, right, we've sold it off? Because what the government are doing as well, they're selling off government land and giving it to private, making it privatized. So you've got these companies who are coming in and they're able to buy it and build up private property. So what's going to happen? That means
I think it's
about the area, because our country.
I think it's one of those things. It's like, how can I explain this now in the best way for people to understand? It's an experiment that is destined to fail. They know the experiment's going to fail. It's destined to fail because, you can only have so much people in one area, So you look at the logistics of living in a city then, like London. There ain't no land nowhere to buy nothing, to build nothing.
But
so the only way you build them, you got to knock something down that's already there, or you got to use what little piece of land is left.
Exactly.
So the more you keep pushing people into that one small area of the country, remember, London doesn't make up 5% of, like, the actual area of London doesn't make up 5% of Britain. But the population of London,
is
another thing. So all that's going to happen is going to explode. You've got too much people living on top of each other.
Of course it is.
It's never going to end well.
Remember, they're cleaning the area out as well. So they're making it very expensive to live in London right now. So a lot of people are actually moving out of London and they're getting a better quality of life. To be fair, they're getting a better quality of life because London's very overcrowded, very highly populated, So it's like, what kind of quality of life are you really getting in London? Your money if you buy something outside of London, will stretch further. You know, you can buy a 4-bedroom house outside London for possibly something what you'd buy a 2-bedroom in London.
Yeah. The further you go, the cheaper it gets as well.
Right. And that's what they want. But at the end of the day, yeah, they're going to always make it cheaper for health workers, teachers, doctors. You know what I mean? They're always going to make it, they're always going to have a little patch for that. Because they're going to always need the blue collar workers. They're always going to need them, whether they like
That's
it
right.
or not. Who's going to clean their rubbish?
But this is the problem with gentrification, because what's really going to happen is, you know, we're not going to see the effects of the gentrification until maybe the next 10 to 20 years.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, in that time, what you'll find is a lot of the poorer people, like we said, they can't afford to live there no more, so they've all moved out. Now, everyone in that area is all gentrified.
Yeah.
Now, like you said, certain jobs they're not going to want to do. And someone got to have to do that job. So now you're going to have to pay someone to come all the way back into London to do that job.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's what I'm saying. Is going back to my whole question and my whole argument of why should we stay here to slave out in the plantation? Because that's all it is.
Mm-hmm. But then what happens when all the poor people move to other locations, and in those areas they start building them up? Then what happens is all the rich people
will they?
Well, eventually what's going to happen is people who can't afford to keep their homes, they're going to be moved out somewhere further out, either way. Yeah. Now, once that happens, the people who are in the area that's now been gentrified, they're going to start moving out.
Yeah.
Because they want to go to the poor area again and buy a house low again and gentrify another area. It's just a repeated pattern.
Yeah.
Like that.
True. It will just be a vicious cycle. It's true. I agree.
And what does that do for the city?
It's not even necessarily the city, isn't it? It's the whole of UK, really, when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they're leaving London to go and regentrify another area outside London, then it's just going to keep going and going and going until they regentrify the whole of the UK, as far as I'm concerned.
See, but I think
Gone again. You went again. Shiffa. Yeah, again by myself. Keeps happening.
Yeah, sorry about that. Now, I was saying before, like, obviously for people who live in the countryside, it don't affect their lives the same because there's enough space to house people. So when this being gentrified, they ain't got to move out. But when you're in the city, there's not enough space. Do you know what I'm trying to say? There's not enough homes.
Yeah,
so that's where it's going to have the bigger impact. So, you know, I think like especially for in my honest opinion, I haven't got a problem with gentrification. I think it works better for us. But we have to start.
I don't know. Unless we own a property, then it's not really worth it.
Well, when you say this now, I think this is where we have to start as a people, start thinking outside of the box more. Because don't get me wrong, living in the city, it has its benefits, you know, especially where, you know, in the city, when I go to London, I can go to any area and I can find my proper food shops, you know, and get my bits that I need to cook my hard food and my pumpkin and potato soup and all of that. You understand? But obviously in the countryside, we don't have as much of that because there ain't as many black people. There's more black people. There's going to be more availability because someone's going to have to provide. You know, supply and demand.
Yeah.
So when you put it in that perspective, you know, how many of us are living in the city doing a job that they don't have to do from that living in the city? They could be living in the countryside, doing the same job, earning the same money, living a better standard of life. But you're just there because you feel like you have to be there because, all right, you know, your family's there. All right, mum lives up the road or whatever. But at the end of the day, you know, you wouldn't have to rely on mum so much if you was able to sustain your incomings and outgoings better. You know, it's going to be a lot easier to live within your means when your bills are lower. So, for instance, like living in London, like I know people right now that's paying like £1,200 for a 1-bedroom flat. So you go out to the countryside, you're paying a fraction of that. You're paying
Did you
fraction.
Live in London?
I used to live in London, yeah.
Okay, and what made you go out of London? Not but was it a job?
It was everything in total. Everything in totality. It's the environment. It's the work. It's the obviously being able to save more aspect. It's the fresh air, the clean air. You know, it's a different standard of life. A complete different standard. Like when you're walking through London compared to when you're walking through the countryside, it's a different environment altogether. You feel a lot fresher. You know, you feel like you can breathe outdoors properly. You know, you ain't got people rubbing up next to you every minute when you're walking somewhere. You got space and you got a bit of, you know, it's like it's almost like time on your own, you know, even when there's people around, because it's so sparse. You feel like you don't even feel like no one's there more time. There's no one watching you, no one knocks your door. It's not overcrowded. That's the word I'm looking for. It's not overcrowded. So you go into the shopping center, and in comparison, that I used to live in Lewisham. If I went in Lewisham Centre back in the day, Lewisham Centre is always ran with people, you know. So I imagine the numbers not even being half of that. You might go in there might be 10 people in there. So you got the whole place to yourself. You know? Obviously, not all the time. There's going to be times it gets ramming it, but, you know, it's a lot quieter. You know, people got time for you. You might stop in the shop and, you know, the person who's serving you, the man or the woman at the till is serving you, they're talking to you. They're having a conversation because they got time for you. You're in the city. No one ain't got time for no one like that.
Yeah, that's right. It's a different lifestyle completely. So I think, you know, obviously there's always, what do they say? Not everything that glitters is gold. But people find that in London is so, you know, London, everyone flocks to London because everyone wants to be in London because obviously it's the capital. It's like supposed to be a 24-hour city. You know, you can get buses, you can get tubes, you can get, you know, you can get around easy. And my biggest thing about being in the country is like things just lock off. And if you haven't got a car, you're doomed, basically.
Yeah. And ultimately, being in the countryside gives you less excuse, you know, for getting into a bad situation. You know, because at the end of the day, everyone's got 2 hands and 2 feet. From you can work, you'll be all right. If you can't work, do you know what? You still get paid out from the government. You'll still be all right because the bills ain't even high. Everything's kind of cheap. You'll still be able to get around. You know, you can't when you're living in London, everything is 10 times harder certain times. The only thing that's good about London, public transport, I'll give it that. That's the only good thing that they got. You know, that's the one way that you'll save money. You come to the countryside, you don't want that public transport. You better drive.
It's expensive. Is it more expensive there?
Yeah, a lot more expensive and not as frequent, not as reliable. So
saying, man,
I wouldn't rely on it around here. In London, you can rely that the bus is going to come when it says it's going to arrive. It might be a minute late, 2 minutes, but that's a big thing for some people. If the bus is 2 minutes late, people are complaining. Down here, the bus could be an hour late. You never know what time. You even got a time certain times. Certain buses come like twice for the day. You know, like
and they stop at like 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night and all of them things there, man.
Even earlier than that, like I said, certain times, like I remember one, like not too long ago, but like I would say like a while ago, like if you wanted to get on certain buses in some of these areas, you had to book the bus. So the bus he wouldn't just go down that road. he wouldn't just go down into that town or into that area, innit? Or what, that village, sorry. He wouldn't go through that village unless someone from that village has booked you. I'm getting on the bus tomorrow. You have to book.
No, I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah, they got mad villages like that where it's just like literally in middle of nowhere. Like I wouldn't live like that. I wouldn't go that extreme. Small town is enough, you know, or you know, a smaller city. You know, there's whole heap of cities in England, UK. Obviously, London is probably the most attractive, not just because of, you know, the prices and, you know, all of the history and whatever else. But
remember, if you work in London, you get higher wages as well, though. Don't
yeah, it depends though. This is what I mean. That obviously the rate you're getting for work will depend on where you're working. Because some jobs, no, you're not going to get a higher rate. No,
yeah,
make no difference.
Oh yeah, because it won't make no difference in regards to the cost of living.
Yeah, so, but I mean, in the sense of, so if you're working in something corporate, yeah, then technically you want to be in a city because that's where the big corporation is going to reside, and there's going to be more money in big corporations if you're, you know, executive, that kind of role. But obviously, if you're like, for instance, someone who is a builder, you know, like that, the price of me tiling your house in London is the same as the price of me tiling your house in Manchester. But it don't make no difference. If I'm tiling your house, this is my price. That's how much I charge per square meter. Understand? So it depends on what you're in, what field you're in, innit? Like obviously as well in London, you know, or in a bigger city, there's going to be the prospect of more business if you've got your own business. So say that you're a mechanic or something like that, you know, there's going to be bigger prospects for, you know, getting more people through the door. But
yeah,
ultimately, I think we have to start thinking like in the sense of there's only so much people you can see anyway. Yeah. So we need to think of in a sense of what we need as well as, you know, what we want. Exactly. Like that. Because a lot of us don't even realize that we need that bit of space. We need that little bit of financial freedom. We might need it. We might be living a life that's mad stressful. Like you see guys ripping, they're going crazy out there. They're ripping their hair out. They're getting bold. They're on the road now, you know, like that, because things got too hard. So they went and done something. They're trying to make up the money that they couldn't find for that period of time. Exactly. So it's drawing you out. You don't even realize it's drawing you out. It's been drawing certain people out for years. They don't even realize they was being drawn out. But you know, at the same time, like I said, people get comfortable. You don't want to be too far from your family. But same time, you can drive in it, go see them in it. When you, that's what I do when I'm ready. When I want to see people, I go see them.
Not everyone has a car.
Well, you better get a license. It's true though. And then think about it like this: when you're in London, car insurance, all them things is high. Yeah, that's why certain people don't even want to drive. But you come countryside, the price ain't like that no more. The price has gone down.
Is it?
Yeah, if you're in the countryside, the price is cheaper.
Yeah, it's true because it's less crime as well, isn't it?
It's less congestion, less crime. There's loads of factors that are factored in. I don't know exactly how they do it, but I know. Yeah, I know that I used to live in Lewisham, yeah, and me moving from Lewisham to Bromley, that alone brought my insurance down.
Wow.
Because it's not seen as in the city, it's seen as a rural area.
Yes, yes.
Do you feel me?
Yes, yes.
So once you're in a rural area, that's going to bring the price down straight away. But I think this is the problem where, like, a lot of people don't even, like, when we're talking about the black Boule, just to relate it back to that, like, you know, you got certain people who would be promoting the complete opposite. And they haven't even got a good reason to say what they're saying. They're just promoting it just because, like you said, they're probably part of that Boule thing for all we know. You know, they promote certain things, like whether it's in entertainment, whether it's in, you know, just their lifestyle, sport, whatever it may be, you know, because some of us don't look at it like that. You know, you got some people, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say that, you know, I've been in bad situations. I'm sure everyone's been in a bad situation before.
Yeah, I am.
And, you know, at times we've all made mistakes, or we might have done the wrong thing. It might not have been a mistake where we didn't intend to do it. It might have been intentional, or we made that mistake because you know what, there was something we was trying to do to better ourselves, or you know, or there was something that happened and we had to find the money for it, you know, because someone's life was in the balance, or you know, or you were just broke, you just couldn't pay the bills, you didn't want to be on the street, living on the street corner.
Exactly.
So, you know, I think that for people who's out there in the industry that's like that promote certain things, promote that lifestyle, you know.
Gone again. Hello. Where's Panero? He needs to sort this out as well. On my own again. Wow.
Yeah, sorry about that, Annie. My thing keeps cutting out, man. My signal for my internet. I've realized what it is now. I was saying before, like when I watch the Boule, obviously we're calling them the black Boule. I call them the white Negroes.
Yes.
You know? When you got into the bit about secret societies and stuff and the Babylonian stuff, that I'll be honest, like, even Panero, me and Panero's had conversations about this kind of stuff. I don't really talk to a lot of people about these things because a lot of people, like, to them it might sound controversial because they might not be up to date or up to speed.
Yeah.
Hopefully, those of the listeners today have at least watched the Boule and had a bit of an understanding and an idea of what's going on. But at the end of the day,
the dances. Did you see the dances that they were doing? Like that was horrible, man. It looked so evil. Like they're all done the same dance. Like even that basketball player, when he got up and he started doing it. Do you remember?
Yeah, but we're in a tough position because what's going to happen is, even though, you know, the older members of our community, the ones who are a bit more wise, you know, we can have a conversation like this, and we probably don't even follow that kind of dancing and the fraternities, and we don't listen to certain types of music. We're not into certain types of things that demoralize us. But it's the youngsters. That's how they get in. That's how they get in. I'm telling you, you look at it like, and the thing is now, that's why I thought it was interesting watching that Boule thing, because it starts off with obviously Marcus Garvey. You've got Martin Luther. They've gone into a bit Malcolm X, and you know, you see all of the old guard. But then it goes a bit further in time, and you start seeing people like Jay-Z, Kanye's, and XYZ.
It continues. It's generational. It's generational. So
but remember, these ones, but this is the thing where these ones were all getting into the industry very young. They were all getting in very young, you know, so they were very influenceable.
Yeah. People were able to influence them and tell them, this is what you do if you want to get rich. This is the steps you take. These are the people you meet. These are the people you shake hands with and rub shoulders with. And that's how they get into it.
All of it, the planned speeches, all of it.
Before they know it, it's too late. They can't come out of it because they've sworn into some kind of secret society that they didn't realize that they took it as a game.
I think this is why we got to be telling the younger generation like what's really going on and making them understand that certain things they're doing, it sounds attractive now. To be honest, this is one reason why I think Corona's a good thing, because do you know what? Whatever you're doing now, you're gonna have to do it in your house. Yeah, whatever you're doing now, you're gonna have to do it in your house. Whatever behavior you've got, you're gonna have to exercise that around your immediate family, your immediate people. Do you know, like that? And those are going to be the only people affected now. Do you feel what I'm trying to say? All of that drunken behavior, whatever is going on, you have to do it at home. And a lot of people ain't going to do it at home. So I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. They're going to drop a lot of habits.
You know, it's going to wake a lot of people up as well. People are going to go back to being a bit more conscious because they're going to realize certain personal issues that they've got already. They're going to start listening to things. You've got time to listen to something now.
Exactly.
You've got time to go to a protest now. You know, you've got time to do things now. But same speed though, you know, when it's all done, when it's all said and done, people just go back to the same old.
Same old. And this is what I'm saying, because they think there's people out there fighting the cause for them. And yeah, we've made the noise now. Some people have jumped up and said, yeah, don't worry, we hear you, we're here for you, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And then we say, okay, you get back complacent again, because you say, all right, someone's taking up the cause, someone's in our corner fighting our battles. Now, what you said before, we need to get our own knowledge and fight our battles if we're going to fight, or get the hell out. If you're not willing to stand and fight for a change, then you might as well just sit down and shut your mouth.
But then don't you think in one respect that that's what a lot of people are doing? Because I think there's a lot of fear associated with the whole, you know, kind of revolutionary kind of way of thinking. Like there's a lot of fear associated, because at the end of the day, you know, you look at people like Malcolm X, you look at people like Marcus Garvey, even Martin Luther, whoever, where are they? Do you know, like that? So that's how I kind of see it. Maybe people are they're just scared. Like even the gatekeepers, they're scared of it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Or they think that this is the only way. That is their only strategy. Do you know, like that? They haven't got another strategy. So, you know, I think it's fair to say that a lot of people might just be in that frame of mind. Maybe it's better we don't talk about these things and, you know, give things time to change. You know, I've heard that saying a few times. But then is it fair to say that if we don't expect more and we don't push for the change, yo, hello? Hello, can you hear me? Yo.
Yeah.
Oh, you can hear me now. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
now again.
Yeah, you keep disappearing.
Yeah, I was just saying before when I cut out, I thought I was still talking, but I'd cut out.
Yeah.
I was saying, you know, a lot of people listening at home, it might sound like we're just here rambling away, but you know, you have to start somewhere to finish somewhere to get somewhere. You know, if you don't get in your car and start driving up the road, you don't know if you're gonna make it, even if the car is playing up.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, you might need it to the garage to get it fixed.
Of course. We have to fix things.
We have to start making more of an effort, I think. But at the same time, there are people making effort. So, you know, I think a lot of people's argument would be, you know, we're here talking about this, but what are we doing about it? And I'd say, do you know what? At the end of the day, at least we're raising some awareness, and at least we're enlightening ourselves and got our minds in the right gear,
Exactly.
you know,
So
to be able to wake someone else up.
People can't say, "Oh, what have you done? What have you done? What you?" Shut up, because actually you've made a platform for people to feel comfortable to discuss many different issues, which can obviously open up their eyes. And if they are interested, they can actually go and start doing their own research. Nobody's asking anyone to believe. Anytime I tell somebody about something, I always say to them, look it up for yourself, you know. Don't take my word for it. And it goes for everything. Don't take my word for it. Go and have a look. And, you know, we need to get back to the real nitty gritty of things and stop far arsing about, 'cause that's what we're doing. If you want to say as a people or as a community, as a country, whatever, we need to stop far arsing around. We just talk a lot. I just know we are a group of people who talk a lot. And all the talking we're doing now, people have come past us. And I'm not saying we're measuring ourselves with anyone, but if we're looking about achievements within communities and building our communities, we haven't really done much of that.
I hear that still. I hear that. We've done a lot of building other people's communities.
Right.
To be fair. But that's not a bad thing. At least we can build a community. So, you know, we should be able to put all of that resource, all of that energy into doing something for ourselves, because, you know, I think it's going to be difficult, you know, for especially the younger generation to gravitate towards, you know, a movement that was started decades ago. Then, you know, that is going to be difficult for them. They're going to respect it because, you know, it's still part of their history, isn't it? But it's like it's going to be difficult for them to really understand it and take part in a way that, you know, the previous generations did. You know, there's going to be a few, but it's like the numbers get smaller and smaller because too many of us are being swayed, you know, into this other way of thinking where, you know, where we don't think about ourselves first. We think about, you know, everyone else as well as ourselves, you know. And I think that's important, you know, that we have to start looking at our own community and think, you know what, yes, we do have to integrate with other communities. Yes, we do have to invest in, you know, other parts of, you know, our community that aren't necessarily just black businesses and black this, black that. We don't have to just be like that.
No,
we have to look at ourselves first and try and invest in ourselves first and give ourselves a foothold.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. And well, people are always trying to say, you know, it takes a community, but we in ourselves, like you said, we do have to really take a critical look at ourselves and see where we've been going wrong all these years. I mean,
but then at the same time, I think it's difficult for us as a people because, like I said, for instance, majority of black people I know in England either live in London, Birmingham, Bristol, Manchester, the major cities then, yeah. But then I don't think that a lot of us can see that by us doing that, we're competing with each other constantly. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So we are definitely. So it's going to be difficult for us then, you know, when we're trying to come together and work together, when we're constantly competing with each other. What I notice is, for instance, the Indian man who owns the corner shop, what they'll do is they'll move over to England. They live in the same area as their cousin or whoever's got the shop in whatever area, and they look around. They say, "Where's the area that ain't got one? Because I need to do my one." And then they move out there, and then we ain't got to compete with each other. We can help each other. Do you feel what I'm trying to say? Because we could all be selling the same stock, buying the same stock, getting a nice discount.
Yeah,
something like that.
Because we know that it's like you said, supply and demand. So once there's enough people who want it, we can even go out and do a consensus. We're lazy people. We're not going to go and knock on doors or find a directory and call people up and say, "What are your needs? What can you offer? What can you do?"
See, you see when you say that, yeah, I disagree. I don't think we're lazy at all. I think we're the most hardworking. We work way too hard. And the thing is, what we got to stop doing is working so hard and working smart. Because working smart is what gets you places, you know? And there are black people who work smart. I can't deny that. There's a lot of us who's got good businesses that are making money, you know? And we might even work with a couple of other people from the community that's invested and everyone's eating, you know? But on the whole, there's not enough of us doing that. That's all I'm saying. So from that perspective, you know, we have to start diversifying more. That's what that's where I'm coming from with what I'm saying. You know, just diversify. Like, you know, so I might have a friend who, you know, like we said the other day on the show, I might have a friend who makes clothing and his clothing might be really good. But we don't promote him like that. We're promoting Versace. We're promoting this, that, and the other. We're not promoting each other. Or I might have another friend who's really good with technology then. Yeah. And with the skills that that person's got, they can make a lot of money out of it. But you know what? They've just got a education. They ain't got money. You know what? They come from a poor background, isn't it? So what's going to end up happening is they're going to end up working for some big company, yeah, and making them stupid amounts of money when we as a community could have invested in that person, and our community could have been eating that money. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I think that's what we have to start thinking like. And like I said, a lot of us do think like that, but that's the main point that I want to get out there today. You know, that we need to start not necessarily just investing money in each other, investing more time, understanding each other more, knowing what each other's strengths and weaknesses are more, you know, and getting the best out of each other, you know, utilizing each other, you know, because it might be something real simple, like for instance, someone said to me the other day, if you go out like past certain parts of like into like Surrey and stuff like that, there ain't really no food shop, no West Indian food shop, no African food shop, none of that, you know. So it's about being able to utilize that information. Then if someone now online knows someone who's got a food shop that could franchise, do you know what? Let's franchise. If you got a bit of money to invest, it might be worth put a little West Indian shop in Surrey, do you know, like that, because they ain't got nothing out there, and you're gonna eat a food, innit? Because all the people that's out there, you know, that would enjoy that food, that would want a shop like that, they're only coming to you. Do you see where I'm coming from? But obviously, you know, it's difficult for us to grow as a community as well, because not only because we're all competing with each other, but you know, like someone else brought up on the show the other day, there's a lot of bad blood in the community. There's a lot of us that don't like each other. Something like that, through, you know, disputes, family disputes, all sorts of things. You know, there's all sorts of things going on. Like we said, you know, you got these kids killing each other in the streets, you know, warring over postcodes. There's all sorts of things that are holding us back. But unless we can, you know, rise above it and, you know, have better principles about certain things, it's not going to change. You know, like that.
So what do you think we can put in place then?
Well, in my honest opinion, yeah, I think right now the only thing we really can put in place is, you know, a frame of mind. That's the most important thing, you know. And if I can change my frame of mind, someone else can change their frame of mind, you know, and then someone else can change their frame of mind. If they spoke to that person, you know, it's only going to spread like a disease. And that's what we need. We need those. We don't need this disease of, you know, youngsters that, you know, aspire to be or want to look like something that's bad. We want youngsters that want to look like something that's good. You know, we want youngsters that are interested in their community, interested in being invested in their community, you know, and bringing us to the next level, you know, because, all right, for instance, the reason I say this year, when I watched the Boule now, one thing that I also picked up from it, that they said about Marcus Garvey is that when Marcus Garvey started talking all this revolutionary stuff, there wasn't anyone else doing it. Yeah. So it made a massive impact, not just in America, but on the rest of the world. So there was a guy from Vietnam who ended up being the Vietnamese president who came to learn from Marcus Garvey. Yeah. So this guy was seen as by the FBI when they went through some FBI files. Do you remember that bit in the video? They go through some FBI files and they're saying that they've got this guy to try and, you know, basically dissolve his movement in it, because they're saying they can't afford to have some kind of messiah in the black community uniting us all and, you know, bringing us as a collective, you know, financial power in the economy. He didn't want that.
Exactly.
Do you realize they did that? That was the most important thing that they didn't want. Do you feel what I'm trying to say? So when you look at it like that, you know, me personally, as a black person, when I hear something like that, it says to me, do you know what? It's imperative that we work together.
Yes, unity. We need unity. Unity in numbers, use strength. You know, there's more power in numbers, and we need to stop giving it over to these people who are not doing anything for us. And if we work together, we possibly get more done without relying on people to do stuff for us, and to have a word for us on, or have words on our behalf. It's not right. We need to get like-minded people who are looking to achieve the same goals, whether it be here or Africa. I'm not really supporting us staying here, team.
But this is the thing now where obviously, you know, from the outset, you know, we don't know that. Not a lot of people know these things, innit? You know, if you didn't watch that full video, like we posted it in the group, so anyone who's been in the group, if you watch the full thing, then you would have caught that in it. Some people I know is going to skip through because it's quite long. You know, I've done it. I'm not going to lie. I've been on YouTube, and someone might have said to me, "Watch a video." I've skipped through, but because we're doing a discussion on it, there's no way I'm skipping through because I don't want to miss something that's going to be important. But
Yeah.
I think that was essential to take home from that video. You know, when this guy stepped out into the world of philosophy, he was a force to be reckoned with. They did not like his ideas. You know, it was so revolutionary that people were coming from other parts of the world to learn from this guy. One of them became the president of Vietnam and sparked the Vietnam War. That's how powerful. What is all right? So that's how powerful that's how powerful the message was. It was sparking wars. So as far as they're concerned, you know, this guy's it's gonna be too powerful. It's gonna actually change something. Same way the Vietnam War, it changed something. It changed people. It made people get up and start fighting. You know, and demanding what they were due. And that's the real reality of it. It's not about, from what I took from that video was, it's not about all of this Black Lives Matter movement. It's about getting what is due to us. And you're not going to get what's due to you unless you take it, you know?
Right.
And that's the work. I look at it as, you know, for instance, a lot of people talk about reparations. I don't think it's about reparations. I think there's work we have to do as a people to establish ourselves, you know, if we're ever to be in a position to even talk about reparations, because then people are going to listen to us because we've got power. When you got power, you know, the decisions you now make as a collective group don't just affect you, they now affect the rest of the nation that you're in too.
Yes, exactly.
So people now have to take you seriously, but when you're a divided front, no one's going to take you seriously, because at the end of the day, they can just get whoever, like whoever you said, Al Sharpton, to just come out, and you know, half of us are divided now. Now Al Sharpton said they're cool to it. That's what I mean. If Jesse Jackson, Jay-Z, it don't matter who it is, they just get one of them out here and they say, nah, you guys like you need to allow it now. These guys are actually cool, you know, we should work with them and we should accept their terms.
That's what we do, because we are so divided.
But this is the thing now where
our power of thinking.
But this is the thing now where, like, I don't want to seem like, you know, a spoiled brat. Like I'm just gonna act sore. Like, for instance, you've made a negotiation, then and we've negotiated that. You know what? We've done our little march, and this is what the result is now. They've said, okay, because you lot are marching and you want something to change, this is what we're giving you. Yeah, and I'm not saying to the people them that, like, for instance, when they took down the statue in Bristol, I'm not talking against things like that. I'm not talking against, you know, the marches in America and stuff. I'm not talking against it. I'm just saying, like, you have to ask, you have to have better terms for negotiation. You know, like that. You can't negotiate on terms that you didn't devise. So someone else has told you, you know, what you should be accepting. And you can't negotiate on terms that, you know, it's like, for instance, we've taken down a statue, but we've not actually initiated any kind of change.
Right. So the statues come down. That's what I'm saying. So what does it mean? The statues come down. What are you acknowledging when you take down the statues? What have you acknowledged?
When they take down when they took down the statue, from what I got from it, you know, they're acknowledging that the statue is of a slave trader, a slave owner, you know, someone who, you know, it shouldn't be revered in history like that because of what they done as far as slavery and slave trading and XYZ. But then to that degree, if you take down that monument, you got to take all of them down.
Yeah, but you see, this is what I'm saying.
Because this is the thing. All of those monuments are associated to some type of, I'm not going to use the word, some type of atrocity. That's the word I'm going to use. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure you could figure out what I was going to say. Yeah. But either way, all of these names are associated to some type of atrocity here, there, or somewhere around what they would, somewhere in their lifetime, they did some type of atrocity.
There's some people who don't believe that these things should come down. Even black people, they think it should stay there to remind us.
See, I'm kind of like, I'm kind of on the fence in that one.
They should go in museums. They don't need to be out there because...
Yeah, in a museum, I'd agree with that too. Because like I said, I'm kind of on the fence. Like, the statue don't bother me. Do you know, like, I don't even care. I don't know who the guy is. I'm not acknowledging him.
To be fair, you know, I've been on some of these black walks in London and they show you certain things and what's not. But to be fair, I don't really take that on. Like, it doesn't bother me. It's not something that, I'm not that type of person that I'll be thinking, well, look at this statue, man. It's about slavery and it's not really affecting me psychologically like that, I must admit.
Yeah.
Then I'm the type of person that just goes over my head. Yeah. So it's not, if I'm really honest, it's not something that I'm gonna really go rallying about and get that statue down, get that.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be me. I think there's more important and bigger fish to fry.
Now, but then I still understand what it stands for, though, and to some people that is oppressing, isn't it? And then if you grew up in that area, it's going to be different because obviously I'm not from Bristol like that, innit? You're not from Bristol, so we don't even know who that person is. Do you know, like that?
I totally understand, and they would have probably, even as kids, they would have probably gone on little outings and probably spoken, or you know what I mean, walk past it, or there might be bus or tourist bus, or people go and take pictures beside it. You know, the NF or the whatever EDLs or whatever of likes of society may have revered those statues, and you know, made them. The difference is how it made them feel. Now, did it make them feel superior, or and obviously look at black people in a more inferior manner? Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's a double-sided sword there. It's not just about how it can make black people feel. How does it make white people feel? Does it make them feel inferior? Does it make them react a certain way to black people? Does it, do you know what I mean? How far down the line does it go?
Yeah, I hear that. You got to look at it from everything, from
every angle. It's not just about from a black person's angle. It's also from a white person's angle, and all the other cultures or ethnic minorities or whatever, they haven't got statues showing them in a derogatory manner. So does it make them look at us in a different way and think, oh, look at them, they're only just slaves, look what they've come from, and they think this and that, and do you know what I mean? And it's only it's only a small part of history, you know, even though it did span across over 400 years, they're saying, you know, but it's only a small part of our history.
See, do you know what I find surprising? Yeah, that, you know, obviously people got so much of a problem with that statue, but they don't have a problem with some of these, you know, these war heroes who did mad atrocities. Because to me, like, that's something else. That's something demonic. Not saying that, like, to me, like I said, you know, the statue, if it's a statue of a racist guy who owns slaves and it's being glorified, I don't agree with that. So take it down, but you know, take down all of them then, innit?
Yeah, like the Templars.
That a whole lot of it. And I think that's why you had enough people saying they're marching out to protect the monuments. Obviously, you know, we know that the monuments was already protected or whatever, but really and truthfully, like, they shouldn't be protecting them. Take them down. What are you protecting them for? It don't make no sense. It's like, for instance,
You see what I mean, though? You see that same sentence what you just said.
you might as well you might as well put up a statue of Hitler and protect it.
Right, but this is what I'm saying. So those people who, like I said, both the two sides of the spectrum. So those people who went out there to protect those statues, they were doing it. Those EDLs, I call them evil dunce lunatics. Yeah, they were going to protect the statues because obviously it makes them feel good. It makes them feel superior.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas,
to me though,
the other side of the coin.
It's obviously there's a superiority, you know, side of it, but to me, like I said, it just seems demonic that, you know, people are going to revere someone who done atrocities, you know, because, you know, you look around the world, yeah, you look at like when Saddam Hussein or whoever, when they take out these dictators and they're saying these are bad people, and enough of them, what they usually do, they've got a statue of that person in that country, and the first thing they're gonna do when they go and win their war is take down the statue. Why you never left the statue?
Do you notice that?
Why you never left the statue then, innit? Because at the end of the day, that's a double standard.
Yeah,
you know.
But you want come on, right? Oh, free this and, you know, free rights, civil rights, and all of that. The worst country ever in the world for that.
Yeah.
Considering how much they so-called promote it. Oh, look, there's Chrissy. She's saying because he was linked directly to the slave trade. That's my understanding.
Yeah.
It's the understanding of it anyway. It's her understanding of it anyway. So she's. Why don't Chrissy come in the room?
Yeah, if you feel like it, jump in the chat room. Why not? Why not?
Yeah, come on, Chrissy. It changes. Come on, Chrissy. Come on, girl.
But she knows her stuff, though. She knows her
stuff.
As well, like.
I mean, it's nice. You know, this is how we learn about each other and learn how we feel and different perspectives. I'm all about perspectives.
Yeah.
All about perspectives, man.
Yeah, I hear that still. I hear that.
And you know, it's just crazy, you know, how they try to. I even put up a little video. I don't know if I said it in the last chat. It was like two little kids, a black and a white kid, running toward each other, playing. Do you know what I mean? Running, and they're like toddlers, you know, playing with each other. And the caption is, racism is taught. It's something that you teach people. You don't grow up. You don't, as a baby, you don't know about black and white. Yeah, when you're young, you've got black and white friends. It's all fun. It's all happy Larrys. And then when you get up older, people start telling you about black this, black that. What's that all about? Terrible. We should all be able to just dwell happily with each other and learn from each other. There's a woman on going on now. She's really going on about. Come on, Chrissy, come in about. Yeah, I saw that. Cutest thing, agree, racing. Get on here, mate. Leaving me standing. Oh, Chrissy. Hello.
Yo, yeah, sorry about that. Sorry, but I could hear you.
Yeah, I know. It's Chrissy just saying, yeah, I saw that. Cutest thing. I agree. Come on the show. Come and talk. Racism is taught, she says.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Definitely. That thing is just the cutest thing ever, man. When you see that, man, I tell you, it's just so cute. It makes you want to just cry just to think how wicked people are. And there's this old woman. Have you seen that old woman talking about black and white people? And she's deep. I know you have to see it, Shiffa. You have to have seen this woman. I'm gonna find it. Sure.
Nah, send it to me, man. But I was saying before I got cut off, like, not that it's a bad thing people came out to march after George Floyd died and after Trayvon Martin died or whoever else died. I'd like, because, you know, someone died, innit? But we're supposed to be doing that anyway. Do you know, like that? Because if we're about affecting change, we're not supposed to just be about affecting change just because someone died. We're supposed to be about it just because we're about it. That's what I think. So I think we need to be like, that's why like when you said to do the show, I'll be honest, I know a couple of people, you know, they didn't want to jump on this show because some of it's been discussed already. But at the end of the day, you know, I don't care if I talk to them blue in the face, you know. I hope that we've reached a few more people today.
True,
and people
man.
are a bit more aware.
Yeah.
You know?
And remember, every time you discuss something, it's discussed in a different way and it's discussed from a different perspective. You know,
Yeah.
you don't just stay on the same old lines and say the same old thing. You're always looking at different perspectives because we live on a globe, you understand me? So if you spin it around, you're going to get a different view, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Right now, people are seeing the sun, you know, and we're not. And then people,
100%.
that day that then people are having is going to be a different day than what each and every individual is having. We're all having a day in our view, a day in the life of Shiffa, a day in the life of Annie, a day in the life of Chrissy, Panero. Do you understand what I'm saying? So everyone's going to have a different view on life.
And then this is the thing where I think it's funny you brought that up because you see how you view something here. Like Chrissy said, you know, racism is taught. Everything is taught. The way you view something is taught.
Yeah.
You know, so who was you learning from? You know, not you personally, but like people out there listening. Who have you been learning from? What do you actually know? Is this all fresh and new to you? Does it sound like something a bit controversial? Like, do you know what it sounds like? It might be a bit over the top, whatever the word is you would use. You know, do a little bit of research, go and look it up yourself, go and watch the film, go and build a little bit of an understanding. You know, like that.
Definitely. It needs, you know, the reason why I wanted to discuss Boule, because I just think it's not just about Boule, it's about everything. It's about everything. We need to research everything that we gravitate to or can affect us individually. You don't even
Would
have
you know,
as
you say this, I'll be honest, after watching that Boule, it made me think about some stuff that I'd learned over the years.
Right.
You know, like different perspectives, you know, will make a massive difference to how people look at things in the sense of we look at the world in the way we see it. Like if we look at a globe, you've got England at the top left corner of the map. Yeah, you've got, you know, Europe, the rest of Europe, like below that. Then you got Africa down at the bottom. Yeah. But you see, the thing is now, you see, if you go on certain ancient maps, you know the map's the other way around, right?
Yeah, man, I'm telling you. Listen, you know how I know this? By the way they fly to a country. Now, if you ever realize how they fly to even Africa and they fly to the Caribbean and they fly, sometimes you think, why are they, when you look at the route, you know, and you think, why are they taking that route? And it's nothing to do with, traffic and air traffic. It's because where we actually are positioned.
Yeah, but hear the joke though, like, all right, I'm just gonna drop this jewel out there for everyone who's listening now. If you miss it, you miss it, unfortunately for you. But you know, you can go back and play it back, in it. You can listen back to the show. So, like, if you look at our old map of the world, Africa's at the top of the world.
Yes.
Now, technically, like that part of the world is the hottest. Those are the hotter parts of the world. So, you know, in my understanding, you know, that would make them closer to the sun. And I'd imagine that the sun's at the top, not at the bloody bottom. But I'm not going to go there with no one. They talk about the sun rotating around or whatever. However, they've made their, you know, their little spiel that they sell to you in school and that. So I'm not going to get into the schematics of.
We could get into flat Earth now. Come on.
I'm not going to go into flat Earth. All I'm going to say is, if you look at an ancient map of Africa, even if you look at an ancient map of Africa that's not flat, because some of them, they don't look necessarily, you wouldn't know if it was flat or whatever. You're just looking at a map. Now, what you're going to realize is,
oh no, you can't go. You try to get something out. Don't go. Shiffa, shiffa, don, don. Dun, 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 dun. So it says the ancient, I'm just going to read something. It says the ancient Earth globe is an interactive 3D globe that depicts the Earth at various points of geological history from 750 years ago. No, I was just
God.
going online to look at it,
Mm.
just to
What
try and
about the
read something
map?
out.
I think the
Yeah.
map is called let me remember the name. Is it Alkebuland? Something like that.
Oh,
It's something like that. But long story short, yeah, like I was saying, if you look on the old maps, what you realize, Africa at the top of the map, England's down here, and the way England is facing is upside down. So if you imagine England in your mind, the way it looks on the map, the way
mhm.
it's facing the other way, it's facing downwards on that map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they messed
And you
everything
could,
up anyway.
yeah, even like I swear, some of their maps you can't even see America and things like that. You can only see Europe, you can see
Mhm.
Africa, and you can see Asia. You can't even see America. So, you know, if we're gonna get into it properly, what that would suggest is whoever was making that map, those are the places they traveled to, innit?
Right.
That's where they was going to, innit? That's what the map was used for, to get to
Yeah.
those places. It wasn't
Yeah.
used to get to America, so they was already in Europe. So when you look bring up these, when people start talking about
So
things
it's the
like, you
other way
know,
round. So we're
all
looking at
right,
it the wrong way round, basically.
yeah.
That's
So
what
what they did was they turned the map the other way around to
yeah,
put themselves on the top of the map. Like
yeah. So them
it's
to the
not
right,
rocket
they're not-
science, because
yeah,
now they're on top of the world, isn't it? Now
yeah,
who's on top of the world?
yeah. And
It's
that's
funny, isn't
why.
it? I'm
No,
turning off
it's
my camera
funny
now.
because they came from caves as well, though. Remember, they came from caves. So if you
Yeah,
think that everything was all together, yeah, everything was all together, squashed in together more. Because remember, the land breaks, doesn't it? It get landslides, and then when you look at it, when you look at the world as a whole, if you pushed it all together, they'd all fit in, and you understand me, like a puzzle. But
yeah,
you see, it's broke away gradually throughout the ages, the Stone Age, the Iron Age, whatever ages. Yeah, so you can see that it's definitely they were more inland, in cave land, in that sense,
mm,
where the outskirts you'd get more sun. Do you understand what I'm saying? You'd get
all
more
right.
because where we
Now,
are
now check this one out. Check
makes
this one
more
out.
sense.
The reason I brought that up here is because of something else that was said in that Boule film. And that man said, you know, if we don't know where we've come from, we don't even know if we're repeating the same mistakes.
Yes.
So, you know, we're not really our true selves in that sense. If we don't know where we're coming from, know what we was dealing with, understand the map was the other way around. We had a complete different perspective.
Yes.
Do you feel where
Yes.
I'm coming from? And then, you know,
Yes.
when I
It's all
highlight it
about
like that,
perspective.
do you understand? When I highlight it like that, they want us to think like them. But
Yes.
we need to understand the difference between integrating with them and thinking like
Like
them.
them.
Because
Yeah.
when you start thinking like something, you become it.
Yeah.
So for instance, if you're from a particular culture, you're Chinese, then you think in a Chinese way. Certain things you do when you go in the kitchen, you think in a Chinese way in the kitchen. That's one of the things, you know. When you go out and you talk to people and you greet people in the street, you do it in a Chinese way. You know,
Yeah.
everywhere's got its own customs, hasn't it?
Yes.
Do you feel what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say? So in different parts of the world, some things ain't going to be acceptable, and some things are going to be more acceptable. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But what do we know of ourselves and what's more acceptable to us? Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying you can't go to Africa and still learn culture in Africa, but even going to Africa now, a lot of the people are going to be westernized. You know, it's
Yeah.
like someone come on the show the other day and he was saying, you know, you go to certain parts of Africa and, you know, it's not going to be easy for you because they're still going to give all the best jobs to the white people and certain. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so
Yeah.
I'm hearing where you're coming from, and I'm just
Yeah.
saying, well, would make sense because everyone's being westernized, isn't it? Everyone's been influenced by Hollywood and you know what's going on in the world and wants a piece. That's the truth.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, and it's almost as though it's actually quite sad because we're missing out so much of our own culture, our own beauty, you know, by trying to be so westernized. Even guys, like, you know, before, I remember back in the day, my brothers, I've got two brothers, but
Yeah.
really my older brother, they used to have afros. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or they're not necessarily afros, but their hair would grow longer, and it wouldn't be a thing about everyone going and getting this look now that everyone's got. And what I find is that black men are going bald now as well, because they're just cutting off their hair every minute. Do you know what I mean? And you know, there's strength in your hair. Do you understand me? And it's like now they won't even stop kids from having afros at school, you know, and all of these type of things that we're supposed to know about ourselves.
Mm.
We don't know. We don't. We just become so westernized, and you
But
know,
this is the thing when in say when you say this now, it's like we're popularized for being like someone else. We're not popularized for
for
being like
being
ourselves.
ourselves.
You know, and the ones of us that do manage to get if we do manage to get popularized by being ourselves, then it's like someone else wants to come from the outside and have an influence in that and add things to it and
It's
take
like a
things
gimmick.
away from.
Yes, like a gimmick.
And if you don't fit into that mold, then what happens is you're not popularized no more. You feel what I'm trying to
Exactly.
say? Because it's not fashionable for us to love each other, for us to love ourselves, to love our
That's
community.
right.
That's not fashionable. You
No.
know, it's not what society expects from us.
Yeah, that's right.
You know.
That's right. That is so right. And this is what I'm saying. We're always trying to be accepted. We buy into that acceptance. You know, and it's not just about how we look, how we this way. You know, we fight for certain things. Like I saw the other day, there's someone fighting for acceptance in. We want to be acknowledged in Vogue magazine. Black whoever want to be acknowledged in. And I just thought to myself, look at that. It's so sad, isn't it? Really. Like,
But this is the thing where we were sold a dream.
yeah.
And a dream, this is the thing. You can don't get me wrong. You can, live your dream. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying to people don't live your dream, because if that's what
Oh,
you're about, and that's that, you know what, if that's all you're living for, cool. I'm not trying to stop you from living your life. All I'm saying is, in being sold a dream, you have to understand something. The people that's selling you the dream, that's giving you the money to do the foolishness, you know what they're doing? They're going backpacking. They're going out into the wilderness. They're living off the grid.
exactly.
Do you understand? They've probably gone into Africa and out there, living out there in off the grid, and don't want to see no one really like that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And trying to get back to this indigenous life where we put it, like we're not even looking for that. We're just looking for what they've given us. It's
Listen,
so strange.
I
It's
went
so
to
strange.
Antigua in March, just when I come back into this madness, this COVID shit. But anyway, I was over there, and it's a beautiful, beautiful place, full of yachts. All the people with yachts, pull up in Antigua. It's like, yeah, money, and it's a lot of obviously people who are not from Antigua. I'm not going to say whatever color, because there's all different nations, but majority white, Canadians, Americans, yeah. And they pull up in Antigua, and they're running the island in a sense. They're buying up certain parts of the island. So and there's a little island off of Antigua called Long Island. Now that's where all the rich people are. They've bought the island out basically, and
Yeah.
they live on that island. So, like you say, they're selling us the dream, but where the hell are they? They're not here. Where the hell are
But
they?
that's the truth. But obviously, to people who don't really like you don't know this person, innit? So you might have seen them in passing, and to you don't know that they live there. To you, they're just here just like you, but no, they're not. That's not what they're doing. They might come out here, make sure business is good, everything's going well, you lot are all working and have still been maintaining the job they gave you, and then I'm gone again.
And I tell you what, when they come, they're coming with one little bag, and you know what they do? They go to the charity shop, buy a couple of clothes, and then when they're leaving, they'll drop it back off at the charity shop.
Mm-hmm.
You think me I lie?
Yeah. And this is the whole point in what I'm saying, in the sense of, like, we have to start, if we're gonna go by what that Black Boule thing was talking about, then yeah, we have to start identifying, you know, the members of our community that are the same.
Yeah.
That's what we need. That's how we need to. That's the only identifier.
Yeah.
You know,
Of
because,
course it is.
you know, at the end of the day, you know, I'm not saying that every Black business should be employing Black people and giving them shares in the company, or giving them more than what other people would get, or anything like that. I'm not trying to say that at all.
Well,
At the end of the
everybody should
day,
have to work for what they have to, but give
yeah,
everybody an equal playing field. That's all. An
yeah,
equal playing field.
we're all struggling. This is the point I was gonna make. We're all struggling, yeah. So at the end of the day, you know, especially for people who own Black businesses, then, like, when you do employ staff, fair enough, you know, I'm not saying, like I said, pay them more because they're Black, or do more for them, give them, I'm not saying give them just because they're Black, but maybe invest in them, do you know, like that, because, you
Yeah,
know,
it would be fair. It would be fair.
although yeah, don't get me wrong, although you investing in that person, you know, is gonna possibly put that person in a better position where they ain't gonna have to work for you no more. There's other people who can work for you, and now
Yeah.
that person can employ more of us,
Yeah.
and put us in a position where we don't have to, we're not begging no one for no jobs, then we're not asking, because we've
Right.
got enough jobs in our community already,
Right. So that
you
means
know.
basically we're going to be dealing with skills, because you know what? Somebody, can't remember where I heard it, so I don't like plagiarism because it's not my idea. I heard this and I can't remember where I heard it, unfortunately. But they were saying that the worst thing they've done is take out all the skill-based teachings within the school. So
Yeah.
they took out carpentry, they took out, you know, engineering, and you know, little you know, all them kind of things that you used to do with your hands, and that could lead you to a trade. Because you know, once you've got a trade, you've got a job for life. You understand me? Like, even if, it's like you have to go college to do these things now. A lot of the children, they wouldn't even go into a woodwork class now. It's all to do with media and, you know, electronics, or you'd be surprised. And it's like, hold on a minute, it's true. You have to go to college, where at school you were actually introduced to that at an early age. And I don't even know what's on the curriculum at college now. I don't even
Yeah.
know if it'd be something that they would even, I don't know, I'd have to look it up. Is it
And
really something that they're encouraging anymore, a trade?
even even more than that, I think as well, like, we have to invest in our young entrepreneurs more, because
Yeah,
there's more of them out there. You know, there ain't enough, I don't think, but I think there is enough. They're just we're not investing in them.
look, for
You know,
every guy
there's loads
that's
of
out
people that
there,
have good ideas.
Shiva, not to cut you, but for every guy out there who's selling, doing something wrong, rather illegal drugs, illegal runners, they are a potential entrepreneur. That's all I've got to say. Because they know how to go and restock and reshuffle and redo and do, yeah, and go out there, get the sales, they advertise, they do whatever. Trust me, there are many potential entrepreneurs out there, but they're just selling the wrong product. And I've said this many and many a time. They just got the wrong product. Yeah?
Yeah,
That's all it is.
yeah, I hear it like that still.
And
And maybe
this is where the Black Boule comes into it, because if we can see this, they must have been on this level where we are at. None of them was born, most of the Black Boule weren't born with no silver spoon in their mouth. Yeah? They had to work their arse off, inverted commas, their arse, yeah? So all I'm saying is, where are they? How come they're not here willing to help where they came from? Build up
but
their
then
communities.
I'd look at it like this: at the end of the day, you know, those people, you know, if they are really part of this boule, we're not going to change them in it. That's a secret society. They're never even going to admit to it.
Yeah,
So
but what we've got to start doing is, like, if we know that the Jay-Z's of the world, we need to let people know and stop buying from these people, stop supporting them until they realise, hold on a minute, our people, do you understand me? We've got a power. You see, everyone's talking about this 7th of July and whatever. it's not just about one day or one month, or it's a start. Yeah, it's great, but we can't just go back and start plowing our money into these people who literally don't give a shit about us. Now, what we have to realize is there's people of our own color, our own skin color, who could be possibly worse than some white people. Yeah, possibly worse because they are shitting on their own people. Does
Yeah,
that
but
make sense?
then in the same respect, though, is it fair to say that, you know, in the current climate that we live in, you know, although it is still, it's not easy, but we can still make something of ourselves. And the ones of us who ain't part of that, we just need to come together more and build something that is going to help us and
Yeah,
just keep them out of it.
yeah, we've
Keep
got to
them
get
out
out
of
of
it.
this stardom lifestyle, Shiffa. Everyone wants to be a star. Everyone wants to be this. Everyone wants to be famous. Everybody wants their 5 minutes of fame. This is the problem. And this is why social media is rife. You got women showing their whole body, and oh God, it's disgusting what some of these women are doing. You got even some men willing to send their body parts. I mean, you know what? If it's between two things and what's not, it's all good. You know what I mean? People are adults and they do what they want. But some people are taking this whole thing too far. You understand what I'm saying? Some people are actually trying to be famous on
I'll be
Instagram.
honest though, yeah. I don't profess to have the answers, but what I would advise people to start doing is this. You know, we have to start looking closer at our own community
Mm-hmm.
and analyzing what we do, the things we buy, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and look to capitalize within our community.
Yep.
Because we know everyone already, you know, we all know we're all family and everything, and everyone's gonna buy the stuff anyway. You're gonna buy it from where Sainsbury's, Amazon, whatever, anyway. But we need to start thinking about the things that we need, like, you know, in a sense of, don't get me wrong, you know, there's certain things like if you go to Tesco's or Asda or Lidl's, they're just gonna have it cheaper anyway. So maybe there's certain areas we wouldn't be able to compete with, but we have to look at where we can compete within our own community and start getting our people behind us, you know.
Yeah, but
And
this is what I'm saying.
that's
Even
all we
the
can really
other
do,
day,
man.
even the other day, look,
Even
Primark.
outside of the community as well, though, because, you know, if you got a good price on something, you know,
Yeah,
everyone's gonna buy it,
yeah,
you know, like that. But ultimately, you know, if we're thinking on the basis of, you know what, how is me starting up my business and just making money from my own pocket, helping the community, you know, what we're supposed to be thinking is the same way we go to church and we go to all these places, whatever, you know, when you're up and running and things are going well, you know, I'm not talking for someone who's just in a regular job and you can just about pay your bills and maintain, you know, a bit of a life on the side, if you
mm-hmm,
want to call it that. Then yeah, that I'm
mm-hmm,
not talking for those people. I'm talking about for the people who's got excess sitting around, lying around. You're not really using it, you know.
mm-hmm.
You can invest that money in something that can help other people like yourself to get them up to. Now, a lot of us might not see the benefit in that because they think, well, like I said, we all live in the same city. We're all competing with each other. So I'm
Gone again, gone again. Hello. We're all competing in the same city.
yo, okay.
Yeah. So we're all
Yeah,
competing in the same city,
yeah.
but
So
what?
the only time it's going to make sense is when we start learning from other communities and saying, let's stop blockading in one place and let's spread out. And
Mm-hmm,
that way I'm not going to feel so afraid to share information with you, because
mm-hmm.
what you're going to be doing is going to be the same as what I'm doing, but you're not doing it right next door. Ain't that exactly what these kids are doing? Because you said some of these kids and some of these, you know, young guys, they're entrepreneurs, but they're on road. But that's exactly what they're doing. They're saying, okay, the city is congested with
Yeah,
however many men doing the same thing. Let me go out of the city. That's exactly what they're doing, but it's just they've only done it for that, to do that. They're not doing it with other things. There's so
yeah,
many other things you could take out
yes,
of
yes,
London and
yes,
go and do and have a
yes.
better standard of life,
Yeah, because
you
remember,
know?
there's a black community, like you say, in Bristol. Now, all the Caribbean shops. There's a market there. There's a niche there.
Exactly.
Okay? All of that kind of thing. So they, like you say, yeah, they could bring their businesses outside of London and have quality of life and still live good. And to tell the truth, once you've got a car, nowhere's far. That's what I always say. Once you have a car, nowhere's far. So,
and once you got a good business formula, you know, it's gonna work for you. You know,
exactly. That makes a lot of sense, you know, Shiffa. That is actually pretty deep what you're saying, you know. And like you say, if you've got a formula, so just like there's a McDonald's and you've got franchises, the reason why McDonald's and places like KFC and all of those big major places, the reason why they work, because they have a set formula.
That's right. And they're not going to say, all right, we just opened up McDonald's in Catford, in the center of Catford. So do you know what we're going to do? We're going to open up another McDonald's in Catford. No, they don't do that. They say, hold on, we ain't got one. We're going to the next place that ain't got one.
Right.
And that only that's what business, that's business. You know, if you're thinking with a business mind, you know, I've covered that piece of ground. Now I need to cover a new piece of ground. But obviously, the only difficulty, like I said, is that, you know, I don't think we share information well enough.
No,
you know,
because we're cagey about each other, innit? We're a bit cagey about each other.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, we're in a situation where even if we don't recognize it, we're constantly competing with each other. So you take us out of that situation, we're not going to be so afraid to share information, and it's only going to make our community stronger. It's like if you've got a dad who is you got a dad who's a doctor. You've been growing up your whole life learning things about doctoring and you know, medicine, and so if you did decide to be a doctor, by the time you go to university, college, you know a lot of the stuff already. You're already up to speed with half of it, so it's just going to make life easier for you. And you know, if you come from a community where, you know, there's loads of other doctors and we all share information with each other, you're going to learn even more, because now you're not just learning from your dad, you're learning from all the dads.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
But, you know, it's wishful thinking, though. It's wishful thinking, because I think sometimes as well we forget, like I said on the show the other day, you know, we go under the guise of black, but we're loads of different communities under that banner, and not everyone gets on. So
this is what I'm saying. So who are
that's
we?
another issue.
We're back to that. Let's back to that same question. Who are we? Who are we really? You know, do we know ourselves?
Well, the only way this is how I would define who we are and who I am. Sorry, not who we are, who I am. I define who I am by, you know, my nationality and the nationality of, you know, who I inherit my genes from.
Okay.
You know,
so
that's who I.
In English, yeah.
Well, my nationality now would be English, you know. Before it was English, you know, my ancestors' nationalities would have been West Indian, you know, which would, you know, still equivalent to Jamaica, Trinidad mainly, Cuban, Trinidad, Jamaica.
So Jamaica, Antigua,
yeah. So they my family's kind of like mixed islands, in it, small mixed island people in it. So, you know, one was like granddad was from Cuba, nan was from Jamaica on one side. On the other side, nan was Jamaican, dad was nan was Jamaican, granddad was Trinidadian.
Okay,
but he was also a bit of a mix.
Okay, so I had a maroon granny, and I've got Scottish and all of that going on as well. You know what I mean? It's a bit mixed up, to be fair.
But the point I'm making is, at the end of the day, if we're going to talk about who we are and identify ourselves, you know, black is not an identifier. You can only really identify like that and say, well, that's where I come from. And indigenously, our people, you know, inherit genetics from Africa, you know, as well, and other places as well, you know. So that's how I would look at who I am and where I'm coming from. But then in another respect, you know, I think the problem we have is that a lot of our history is wiped out.
Yeah,
That's the
and
main
a lot of
problem
it
we
is
have.
lies, and a lot of it is lies. So whatever is left, a lot of that is a lie as well, as we've seen. You know what I mean? It's all a bit of a big illusion, to be fair. You know, a lot of things, because, you know, even if you go back to ancient Egypt, you know, come on.
See, but this is why,
They've done DNA on the mummies and the pharaohs, and
yeah.
it's proven that they are African descent.
See, but this is why I try not to focus too much on these things, because I think we've already got enough problems in it. And I think that sometimes, you know, some people are going to be drawn away from the conversation, even just because it just sounds like a load of problems and no solutions. I think that's what we need to work
There
on.
is a solution. I think there is a solution. I think there's loads of solutions. It's just whether
we need
people
more.
are willing to sit down and actually put a plan into action. Because it's a lot of solutions, but where is the action?
But this is it. This is the thing now, where when you're saying where is the action, you know, when the action relies on me convincing billions of other people to do the same as what I'm doing or think the same as what I'm doing,
That's the hardest part.
you know, none of us have that kind of power where, you know, we've got
only the celebrities, and remember, most of them are Boules.
And this is the thing, when you say the celebrities, not even they have that kind of power, because they don't control the media. All they do, they're a figurehead, they're a face, they're a spokesperson, but
and
they can be silenced just as quick as they're allowed to speak.
Of course,
so
they're not allowed. And
when put in perspective like that, do you feel where I'm coming from? So I like to think on the basis of
you see them sellouts, double agents, yeah. You see them, yeah. They're left like with a carrot. You know that carrot in front of them all the time. They're led by that carrot to say, "Come on, keep working for us. One day you'll be me. One day you'll be in the highest position. And they ain't going nowhere, you know. But they've got that constant carrot saying, "Come on, you know, if you do this job, I guarantee you this." And really, what they're offering them is just material things.
See, but the only thing is we can't change any of that, which is why I just try to focus on things that I can actually put into practice myself. So, like I said, if I can share information and I know that's going to help other people that are like me, that are from my community, I'm sharing it. You know?
Absolutely. And that's what I do. I do my AnnieGetyamic, and I try to get people to share information. Since I've done the one about the blackout. So everyone's talking about the blackout. How are you going to get so once Sainsbury's, we're not going to go Sainsbury's, we're not going to go Tesco. Where are we going to go? So I made people start posting into the group, like, and you know, all around my page, and just post black businesses that you know about, so that we can actually definitely not just talk this thing and actually put action.
I do that, yeah, but I'm only posting it if I think it's a good product as well. It can't just be just because you're a black business. But then it's also a thing of like little things that I do. Like I'm not listening to certain types of music. It's not playing around me. If someone else starts playing, I'm saying something about it. I've got an issue. I've got something to say, so you know that I'm either against it or for it. If you're doing something positive in your music, I'm going to support you. I'm going to buy your CD. I'm going to download your tune. I'm going to play it on YouTube, whatever it is that you've got available. I'm going to make it available to myself because it's
got something for you, Shiffa. You know, I got a tune coming soon. You know, I'm going to studio on Saturday to kind of master it and finish it. So yeah, I got a tune coming out. I wrote and produced. I produce music.
If it's positive, I'm involved. Like if it's negative and it's talking any of this Boule stuff, I am not involved. Not in no aspect. In no aspect. But from it's positive and righteous and uplifting, I'm involved in all aspects. And I think that's all I can really do is make a stand like that. And when I talk to people, be that person. I hope people gravitate towards me. If they don't, then unfortunately that's just the way it is. And maybe there's someone else who has, you know, something else that can uplift us that they can gravitate towards. That's all I can do. And keep praying. I'm gonna keep praying.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep praying, I'll tell you.
I'm gonna keep praying.
Bank boy, what's Bank boy? Hey, right? Bank boy.
What did he say? He said the black Boule.
Yeah, come on.
They said the black Boule are usually very well educated blacks who are gatekeepers for certain ruling class. But here's the thing. They have a set agenda and are very well organized in its execution.
And that's what we need to take on board, that last part.
Mm.
That we need to have an agenda and we need to be very well organized in our execution of anything we do. And this is what we are lacking. So, Bank Boy, that's very valid. Absolutely. It's not just about knowing what to do, it's knowing their secrets, how they're able to get things done. And that's it.
That's right. And this is what I'm saying about.
And they're very well organized in their execution. Perfect, Bank Boy.
Right.
Perfect.
And this is what I'm saying about not endorsing certain things and endorsing certain people. I don't endorse. I've never been that kind of person anyway. I was never really like a fan like that. If I like something, I just like it. It's not like I'm not really into names like that. I don't get all like, you know, I don't get all excited because someone's got a concert going. If your music's good, your music's good. But I'm just not screaming over you. I don't care about you like that. Like, not in a bad way. Like if you, like I said, if you're doing positive stuff, then
Can't hear you again. You're gone. What else is Bank Boy says the way to encounter that is to have our own highly educated folks in true African history and spirituality and be just as proficient in propagating our own agendas. Absolutely, Bank Boy.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. And I was just reading Bank Boy's other comment. And it's true, we do, like we were saying, we need to take on those same points that they are using against us or not even against us. You know, we need to stop thinking that people are against us and just start doing what they're doing. Take on whatever's working. Let's take on those things and use it for our good causes. And it's not, no one's trying to hurt anyone. We're just trying to better ourselves at the end of the day.
But this is the trick, where the trick is to commercialize things and then be very selective about what you commercialize, because some of these people who are gatekeepers, I'm imagining a lot of them don't realize that they are. And what happens is, you know, your ego got the better of you.
Yeah.
So because, okay, radio, whatever, decided they're going to keep playing your tune, or, you know, you got big off of whatever, grime, whatever, you know. What's happened to you now is you've grown this ego and it's made you think that you're actually bigger than what you really are. You're not actually that big. They're just promoting you that much. That's why you're getting that much attention.
Well, of course, if the tune plays all the time in your head, you're going to like it after a while, whether you like it or not.
All right. Now, for the younger generation, they're not going to understand it properly, innit? Because when we was growing up, we wouldn't even listen to the radio. If it weren't pirate radio, it's not even real music. We didn't even rate you.
Yeah,
unless the pirate plays you, we don't rate you. But now it's all flipped on its head.
Remember, all of them commercial radio in my day, anyway. All them commercial radios, they would get the tunes years
late.
later.
That's right. That's right.
Bubble into that, and later on, it's coming up. What? They're playing this now, and it's going to #1 now. Please, know that tune from Bay. You understand me? When it was underground, white label. Record.
So you know all of the stuff that's coming out now that's being popularized, you know it's no good for you. It's all trash, in it. That's the truth of it. If it's being popularized, it's trash. Don't get me wrong, it might have a nice beat to it, might even have some nice words behind it, but it's trash because it's geared towards your destruction. That's the truth of it.
And if the words are not uplifting you, you shouldn't get it. You shouldn't be into it. If the music sounds a bit madding and it's banging, you need to get, because there's frequencies that affect your soul as well. You understand?
And just to add to that, not just uplifting you, uplifting your people, your community.
Of course.
Do you understand? Because when I say this, I'm only talking in reference to black people here, because, you know, if you listen to the music in the white community or in the Asian community, what you're going to realize is the type of music they're promoting to their kids is a lot different.
Yeah.
You know, you don't hear Chinese man talking about kill a Chinaman, and I'm going to shoot a Chinaman, I'm going to rob a Chinaman, I'm going to bad up another China. You don't hear Chinese people talk like, you don't hear white man talk like that neither. I'm going to go and shoot that white man. I'm going to shoot that whitey. You don't hear white people talk like that. You know? Or that white guy's a punk. You don't hear that white boys talk like that. you hear
Yeah.
black boys talk like that.
Yeah.
You know, and the white boys who do talk like that, they hang around with the black boys.
Yeah, there's a self-hate. There's a self-hate going on. I'm telling
100%.
you. And it's a mental illness and people are not getting it. There's a mental, psychological, I don't want to say it in a derogatory way, there's a screw missing, there's a connection missing in the brain. It's not connected. It is not connecting. I don't know what they've done, if it's the fluoride they're putting in the water or whatever, that's just making the pineal gland just gone way off key.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it's not, when you say it's an illness, I think it's more, what was the word that they used in that program? It's not an illness like, because if you've got a mental illness, it means you don't really know what you're doing. You're not really understanding what you're doing.
Everyone suffers from some sort of mental
happens.
health. No, Shiffa,
but these behaviors are learned.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, everybody suffers from some sort of mental health issue. And I think this is a mental illness in the sense of a mental health illness. You know, depression is a mental health illness. You understand?
But then, all right, hear what I'm going to say to you now, yeah? Now, this is the thing now. Someone else said this to me, but I think that, you know, when we say everyone suffers with a mental health illness, yeah,
at some point in their life, yeah,
that's what we've been told. But I think, you see, if you're depressed, you're supposed to be depressed. I don't think that's an illness.
No,
because if something,
there's different levels, though, Shiffa. Come on, there's different levels where people go through and they want to kill themselves. Depression is not.
See, but now that's going to the extreme. But this is, hear me out on this, yeah.
Okay.
You cannot exercise a behavior that you did not learn from somewhere. So if it's a learned behavior, it's not really a mental illness. It's actually a learned behavior that you need to unlearn.
All right,
unlearn that behavior.
Listen to this. Babies, yeah, if you don't get the way, they have a tantrum. Where did they learn that from? They don't see people dropping on the floor and whatever. It's a human behavior, okay?
See, but that one there, see,
it's how you learn to control it as you grow older, as you mature. You learn to kind of say, okay, that didn't work out for me. All right, I might feel a bit sad about for maybe a minute or two, but try to get over yourself. And there's some people who have that, and there's some people who don't. Now, obviously, the people who don't, I'm not saying they're weaker, but they're possibly more sensitive. Yeah, so they're possibly more sensitive. So, and remember, we're all individuals. Everyone can't be the same. You know, there are supposed to be people who are stronger in the sense that they can help the people. Really, what it should be, the people who are able to be more resilient in different areas than that person who's weaker in that area. They're usually stronger in another area anyway. So it should all be balancing out. But what steps in is ego. People step over people and think, you're weak, you're soft. You understand me? That kind of attitude. And then nobody has compassion.
All right, do you know what? I'll take that into regard as well. What the point I'm trying to make is this year, like you referenced, you know, when a baby's born, a baby cries, yeah, and that's just a natural thing that it does. Then, yeah. Now, in that respect, is it not fair to say though that when a baby's born, it doesn't know how to talk, it doesn't know how to communicate with the world, it doesn't know anything that's going on?
So, like 3-year-old having a tantrum, like a terrible.
A 3-year-old having a tantrum. Now, hear what I'm going to say to you now, yeah? Realistically, at that age of 3, you've learned behaviors by now. You've learned that if you throw certain tantrums and you do certain things at certain times, they get different reactions. So it's still a learned behavior. It's impossible to say that a behavior is not learned. I
know it's learned, but remember, your environment is always going to be, because you're born as a blank page, isn't it? So obviously, as you walk through the bushes, you're going to get a few green leaves on you. You can walk in the grass, you're going to start getting some grass stains on you. Every environment or every shoulder that you brush with, you're going to feel some. Anywhere you're definitely going to pick up. So yeah, there is learnt behavior as well. Who's that?
Oh, that's Dan. What's going on, Dan?
Yeah, well gone. Yeah, I know you've been trying to get me to come on still, but man, what's it, man? Man weren't really in the mood, but you touched on something that I said I have to jump in. I have to come.
Come on.
God, what are you saying to us?
Basically, yeah, this mental health thing. Yeah, what you touched on about the mental health thing. Yeah, it's the reason why I jumped in because some people they're labeled with health with mental health issues, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like from my own personal experience, yeah, I ain't got no mental health, yeah, but they just don't want me to know what I know. You know what I'm saying? So like I was blinded, bro. This blue lady talking about. Well,
Can't hear you.
oh, sorry, my mic. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
A little
Yeah.
Yeah, I
better.
can hear you now.
I need to get a better. That's another reason why I didn't want to jump on today because my set.
Turn off your camera. Turn off your camera and your mic should go better.
One sec.
Let me turn off mine as well.
Yeah. Can you hear better now?
Yeah, but your camera's still on though. Do you know how to turn the camera off?
Trying,
Just hit the little camera button. Should be a little camera on the screen. It should say start cam or stop cam.
It says cam mic.
Yeah, so don't click the one with the microphone picture. Click the one that's got the little camera picture in it. I don't know why, but it's cleared up now though. Go on, you might as well talk now because we can hear you still.
Done it now. Still, I took off the camera now. I can I'm picking it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, yeah. I had to. I'm not even like I said to you via the text. I'm not in the mood to talk, but touch on this. Man had to jump on because a lot of people, yeah. I know enough people that have been in this mental health in section in the mental health and treated unfairly, and I can speak for many of them regarding my own. Yeah, my father, my father, yeah, was a famous rap star. Yeah. And my mother tried to hide the truth. Growing up, my mom tried to hide the truth. Yeah. You already know Shiffa who my father was because I sent you the pictures and that. Yeah. But my
Yeah, I
father,
know.
my real father was Tupac. Yeah. And they tried to hide this truth from me. Yeah. My mum used to work for the police when I was a kid. Yeah. She used to work for the police when I was a kid. She used to work in Scotland Yard, and she used to receive gyro. She used to receive checks, and the truth got covered up. But obviously, as we all know, the truth, yeah, the truth always comes out in the end, yeah. So anyhow, the truth came. Obviously, I ended up going to prison because I reacted a certain way, yeah, and I ended up going to prison. And then when cut a long story short, when I went to prison, they tried to section me, yeah. And the reason why they tried to section me is because of who I was saying my father was. And the reason and what basically they just don't want man to know the truth. Yeah. They want black people to be enslaved. Yeah. They want black people to hold black people down. If we know where we are coming from, if we know the roots of our foundation, yeah, then we could. If I would have known who my father was from a young age, yeah, trust me, there's no way that I will be in this situation that I am now. But I have been oppressed not only by the system, but by my own family because due to I say due to fear as well. I believe due to fear as well because um like what you were saying, some people, some family, yeah, they're afraid of the system. They're afraid of what's going to happen to them. Like we had all these scholars, these black leaders, and that have been taken out by the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, the Illuminati, the Freemasons, whatever you want to call them, yeah, these evil cunts, and that's what that's what it is, bro. That's not, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, until we know where we are coming from, yeah, or who we are, we cannot go forward in life.
I agree. I agree.
You see, for many years, yeah, even when I found out the truth, yeah, I tried, like, obviously this is the first time that I'm speaking out loud Yeah, and, like people know some like close people to me know the truth. So some of them know the truth, but this is the first time that I was speaking out live on air about it. But when I try to speak out about it, when I first find out the truth, yeah, they wanted to keep me quiet. Yeah, they wanted just like they wanted to muzzle me basically. Yeah? They tried to oppress me. They tried to tell me that I'm mad. Want to give me medication and try to fuck me up. But obviously, man ain't taking the medication. But when I know
Good.
that, when I know what I'm saying is the truth, you get what I'm saying. So that's what it's all about. This system is a wicked system.
I agree. I wouldn't deny it in the slightest, Daniel. And at least you can live to tell the tale. You're here to tell the tale. You're here to talk about it, you know. And, you know, there's places, there's people who would be willing to write your story for you. You know, if you wanted to write it in a book form, I know I could link you with people who could do that for you. You understand what I'm saying? I know people, authors. If you've got a story to tell, the best thing to do is to write it in a book. Yeah,
And hear the joke though, cuz
can't
you
stop
see,
people from reading.
you see what you just said, yeah. This is the thing that's the worst thing about your story, yeah, is that people outside of your situation, you know, seeing you going through all of that, you know, even if you told certain people that like, and you're sincere in what you're saying, like, you know, certain people they're designed not to believe you in it.
Of course.
Exactly.
They're designed to make you think you're crazy, because
Yeah,
I'm gonna
man.
be honest, most people, yeah, I'm gonna be
Exactly.
honest, like if you've come on the show and I really appreciate you sharing that with us, and I know you're a man of integrity. I seen the pictures myself in it, so I know you're talking like this isn't fiction that we're talking here, in it. This is fact, in it. Just for anyone who's out there that might think, yeah, this guy said something controversial, like this is fact, in it. I'm not gonna post the document.
I didn't even hear who he said. Did he mention the name?
He did mention the name.
What's the name, Daniel?
Sorry.
What's the name of the father? I didn't hear it.
Oh, yeah, Tupac Shakur.
Yeah, I believe that. I can believe that easily, yeah.
It's funny though, because imagine like us growing up here, you can even look at you and see it in you, do you know, like that. But you not knowing, you just don't know, innit? Until you know.
Wow. That's deep, boy. You need to write it. You need to write a book, man.
Exactly. But that's the joke thing. Is growing up, some say that I look like him as well. Yeah, and then but I never see it myself. My mum hid certain things from me. She sheltered me. She made me. She hid music from me. Even when I was a kid,
Yeah.
one time I had a tape, different tunes on it. I was singing a pack song. Next day, the tape player went missing. Then one day, not only that, one day I was at my mum's friend's house. She had posters of Tupac on her wall. I wasn't supposed to go into the room. I went into the room. My mum went berserk, dragged me out of the room. There's so many. There was signs there, but obviously I didn't see it. I didn't see it for what it was, because I was told the lie. That my mum told me a lie. In it, she made me believe someone else is my father. She
Yeah.
told me a lie. But as time went on, obviously the truth came out. Even my stepfather warned me when I was a kid. He said to me, if you knew what your family had done to you, yeah, you would turn against them. And he used to tell me that your mum played me as well. So there's so many things. So many things. There is so many things. It's ridiculous. And these what Annie was saying earlier on in the show, when she was saying about this Idris about going when he said he had corona and that. A lot of these celebrities are puppets. They're all fucking puppets.
Yeah.
I know that.
I try not to
also
swear though.
those-
Go on. Try not to swear though, but yeah, go on.
Apologize for swearing. Yeah, but yeah, I'm just passionate about what I'm saying, innit?
No, that's real. That's real.
But yeah, a lot of these celebrities, they're fake. They're puppets on strings. Like my brother as well. Yeah, he's in that sector. and that's another way how I found out as well. Because like I said to you, when I was a kid, music was hidden from me, and then when I started listening to music, when I got to a certain age, I started listening to music. I actually thought I was going mad because I felt like I was getting messages from the music, like and then and then what's it? One day I went to the music shop that I went to, and I see this album there. And when I see this album, I picked it up like four times, and I said like I knew the face of it basically, but I'd never heard of this rapper. And then I decided to take the CD home and listen to it. And when I took it home, I realized it was actually my brother. But we grew up believing we were cousins, yeah, because that tune Brenda's Got a Baby, the real tune. Yeah, it's not no. A lot of the majority of Pac songs was based on real life. Yeah, so I listened to. I took that album anyway home, and I listened to the album, and I realized that basically my brother was a yeah? Then basically after that I approached him, he tried to deny it, and then obviously when I went to when it's only when I went to prison now, and my nan, I spoke. There was a period where I spoke to my brother as well. One day we was chilling. We was chilling and we was in my yard and we were chilling, but we were smoking it. We must have been bunning a lot of weed. So basically, um, I believe what he said, but I didn't take it too serious, innit? Because we were high and we were watching a film called Never Die Alone. You must have seen that film Never Die Alone with DMX, and that's the first time when I asked him, "Are we brothers?" and he confirmed it. But I didn't take it too serious. I waited. I wanted to see my mum. I wanted to speak to her about it. And then she's avoiding me. She was avoiding me. Then I written a letter. Saying to my mum, "Is this rap star too for my father?" Avoiding me. He was avoiding me for a long period. Then I see my nan at my granddad's, and my nan confirmed. My nan confirmed to me the truth. She confirmed to me that Tupac was my father. Anyhow, when I was in prison now, my mum came to, to the prison with my nan, and I was emotional. And I turned around to my mum and said, "Didn't want me to be like my dad. Why didn't you just let me play football?" Yeah, and then my nan turned around and said to her, "Just tell the boy the truth. He deserves to know the truth." And then my mum got. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, yeah.
And then my mum got angry. My mum got angry now, and then my nan fucked up because sorry, I swore again. My nan messed up, and she goes, "Don't worry, you can you can do music, yeah, just like my." She said my brother's name. "You can do music just like your brother." That, and she realized what she said. She realized what she said, and she put her hand over her mouth, because she wasn't meant to say that. Yeah, he. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you. A lot of these celebrities are puppets on screw, because the time that he disappeared, yeah, he was around me. Yeah, but and all of a sudden he just disappeared. Yeah, he was supposed to be in prison, yeah, for committing a crime, but he wasn't in prison for committing no crime. Yeah, it was a cover up. And it's like he was like Judas, fucking trying to sell out when Judas sold out Jesus. That's how I see this story. He was like Judas selling out Christ. Yeah, and then my nan realized what she said, that she shouldn't have said what she said. Yeah? So it's the system that we live in. Yeah, they've got us playing. They're playing a game of chess. We're all being played.
Yeah.
Every one of us is being played. They
Of
want
course.
us fight against one another. They do not
Yeah.
want us fighting against. We all unite and fight and come together. Yeah, yeah. Especially black people. Yeah, yeah. If we all unite and come together, there is no way that they can hold us back. But they don't want that. They do not want that. They do not want us to be a force. They do not want us to be to have that mindset. They want us to have that ghetto mindset where we're out there and we're killing one another. Yeah. Due to this fake corona crap, and the death of George Floyd and all that, we're starting to see people um, be enlightened to what's really going on, and we're starting to see people unite, and this is the way that it needs to stay. This is the this is the only way that we as black people are going to prosper in this life, because they are deliberately, I say, holding black people down. They are oppressing us. They don't want us to rise up as individuals or as a group.
Bank Boy says, how can Idris Elba be there gatekeeping for Viking gods like Thor and Odin, but then they tell you that your own gods like Osun and Oludumare are evil black magic paganism? Which is true. They've always done that. That, like I said, they gave us the William Shakespeare Bible, innit, so that we weren't able to possibly bun fire on them when they was doing their wicked slavery. Because if we had our power still, we could possibly just look at them and they could drop down dead. They were scared of us having our own power. They were terrified.
But differently though, like, I think that's a good point as well, though. But we don't just gloss over that. So that was a good point still. But I just want to say that thanks to Dan for sharing that with us as well, because it's not every day you're going to hear something like that. That it's not everyone's going to come on here and share something like that neither. So I just want to show some appreciation still.
Definitely. No, that's deep. I was just trying to follow on what he said about being puppets, and it's true, we are puppets. And even we are puppets. We're looking at the celebrities out there being puppets. We're puppets too, because we're all buying into that facade. We're all buying into it. Every single one of us on a daily basis. What are we thriving for? This is what we got to understand. You know, what are we thriving for? Are we thriving to have material things, or are we thriving to be spiritually rich in spirit?
I hear you still. So Dan.
Hello. I can't hear what you guys are saying, cracking up too much.
Can you hear me all right now?
I can hear you better now, yeah. I can hear you. It's clear now, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say to you. So, as far as the music stuff, have you made any stuff? Have you got any tunes that you've put together or anything?
Yeah, well, obviously I've started writing now. I started writing a little while ago. A few years back, I was writing lyrics, but I stopped in it because I wasn't doing it. Them times there, I wasn't doing it because for the right reasons, innit? I was doing it. I felt that I was doing it because I felt that I had to do it, because I felt like I let down people. Yeah, I felt like I let down a lot of my dad's friends. Yeah, I wasn't doing it because it was never my dream. Football was my dream. Yeah, and I knew certain things that I know now, then it most surely would have been my dream. But obviously now I'm more mature. I've grown and I'm more mature. I've seen a lot of things. I got saved. I got saved a few years ago. Obviously, the doctrine in the church. I'm not trying to mislead anywhere away from God, because I'm still a believer of Christ, innit? But obviously I believe in Yahweh or Yahshua, whatever you want to call it. But even in the church, they're misleading people by the doctrines, innit? So I left the church, but I got saved, and that kind of humbled me as well. You know what I'm saying? So now things in a different aspect. I see life in a different aspect. So obviously now I've started writing again, and I'm on that on the path to doing music, basically.
Yeah.
At the time when I done it, when I came out of jail, and I done it, and I started doing it. My mind frame wasn't in the right mind, in the right state at that time, and I had a lot of hate and a lot of anger inside of me. So I'm actually glad that God intervened, and I'm glad that I got saved, because it could have ended. If I would have got into the music, could have ended disastrous.
So you said also that sorry, was you weren't finished, was you? Go on, carry on. My bad.
Yeah, no, what I was gonna say, it could have ended up disastrous. I could have got in the wrong crowd, innit? Because we all know that in the music industry, there's basically it's all to do with Freemason and the Illuminati and all that shit, innit? But now with the music that I'm doing, it's like the music that I write. For me, it's not even about money. It's about I'm doing it because to get a message out there to people. I don't care whether I benefit from it. I'm not trying to be a celebrity. I'm not trying to be a star. Yeah? It's not about that. It's not about that because even when you get them Brit, when you get them Brit awards, people going up for their Brit awards and whatever like that. You see someone like me, yeah, like the way I would roll up in there, like they would be thinking that there's something wrong with me because I see myself as a normal person. I don't see myself as no celebrity, no star, basically. You know what I'm saying? The same way I dress on a normal occasion to go down the road in my tracksuit bottoms and t-shirt. That's how I'll show up to one of them shows there. I don't care about that. It's not about that. It's about enlightening people because a lot of people are being misled by these puppets.
True talk.
So that's basically the music that I plan to put out there is to enlighten people. And like I said, I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in
So
it for the
Dan,
money. I'm in it. Yeah.
can I ask another
Yeah, go on.
question? You know, you said you got a brother who does music. Is that someone who we know of?
Of course you know of him. Of course you know of him. And the thing is, that's what I'm saying. That if I say his name, you will know him. But obviously, that's not his name. That's not his real. Like you will know him. You'll know of him as that rapper. But obviously, that's not his name. He's someone that's misleading people. And I'm not afraid to say who he is. I'll tell you who he is. T.I.
Okay.
His name is T.I. or T.I. and he goes by the name of Clifford Harris. But that's not. But that's not his real name. Yeah, that is not his real name. They're misleading the public. People are misleading the public.
Mm. But obviously, you know, this is like only because like me and you've got a relationship. I understand you're sharing with us in it, but like, you know, for the benefit of the audience, like you probably won't hear this again. Like, like obviously if you go back and listen to the show, like if people like I'd hope that people who listen to the show have got enough resolve to not be stupid enough to try and copy the videos and try and paste them out there and stupidness like that.
Well,
But
you got copyright. They can't do that. You just
you know, they
stop it.
can't do that anyway. You can't do that anyway. But ultimately, you know, like that's why I'm appreciative of what you've done and that you shared a lot still. You shared a lot, you know, because this is that the whole world can watch this. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So in a way, you've put it out there. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So people now they can go and do their research if
And
they
we're
are.
here for Shiffa show.
Exactly, bro. And that's that it things like this need to be told. Things like this need to because it's an eye opener. It's an eye opener. One of my brethren sent me something today. Yeah, I still haven't watched it because I watch it because when you first told me that the show was going on, I told you I was cooking. I was doing stuff for the family and stuff in the house. But he sent me a video earlier on, and it's about this woman that was in America, and she went into the hospital. Yeah, she put herself at risk. She went into the hospital. She put a camera. She hid a camera on her when this fake Corona shit was going. Sorry, I swore again. When this fake Corona thing was going on, and she recorded bare stuff. But I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't tell you about the actual video itself. But obviously, I know from bare stuff that's been going on that this Corona thing is another lie, and how they've been they've already had the vaccine. They when you patent something like music, when you patent a song, yeah, they've already patented it. They tried to patent this flipping Corona thing years ago, and it only got approved. It only got approved in 2019, and then look, 2019 it got approved, and in 2020 they come and talk rubbish about coronavirus. Yeah, so basically, my brethren sent me. Obviously, I know the truth about this Corona thing because I've seen a lot of stuff. But basically, today he sent me this video, and I'll forward it to you as well, Shiffa, after I've watched it. Yeah, I'll forward it to you in a minute as we go, so you can watch it. But this woman put herself at risk by going into the hospital with a hidden camera, and she see certain things where people was coming up negative, yeah, for the corona, but they was actually saying that they was positive, yeah. And also the people that they're injecting people with this vaccine, yeah. So these things need to be these things need to be said out loud, yeah. We can't keep our mouth shut anymore. We need to open our mouth and enlighten people, because there's many people out there that some people know the truth, like these Freemasons, these Illuminatis, or you know, they know the truth, or these ignorant people, they know the truth, because it's so much easier to be a devil than it is to be a saint, yeah? But there's other people out there that don't know the truth, yeah. They're like robots. They come home from work, they're programmed, they come home from work, they watch nonsense that's on the TV, Easters and all them foolish things, and then they eat their food, they go to sleep, and then they go back to work the next day. Yeah, so they're in their little bubble, so they don't know certain things. So when you try and tell them, when you try and enlighten them about certain things, they don't want to believe it, because they're all they're doing is just sitting in front of a TV, which is brainwashing them all day long. So when someone tries to talk sense into their head, yeah, they don't know better. But basically, when you have facts, information and facts that is of truth, yeah, yeah. These things have to be told, yeah. And if there's any, I advise you, like today I come on here and I've shared my experience. I advise any person out there that has a story like myself, or truth, yeah, not to keep it concealed. Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. Trust me, because there's many people out there that need to hear the truth, because the truth shall set you free. Yeah?
You
So
know, it's
do not
funny you
be
say this,
afraid.
yeah. It's funny you say this, because before we wrap up the show, like, I just want to say, like, one of the main reasons why I appreciate your story is because, like, obviously, you know as well, innit? Like, there's more than one person we grew up with that might have a famous dad or something that you don't even know who they was when they was growing up and has gone through similar things. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Or maybe they did know who they was and was just kind of, you know, felt maybe pushed to one side because they weren't in contact with them like that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So, you know, like, obviously, you're one of many, innit? But yours is quite significant because it's such a well-known person. Can you hear me all right?
Hello, you still there?
Yeah. Still there, man. Still there. Can you hear me still, yeah?
Yeah. I can hear you still. Yeah. My obviously, yeah. What you said is true. My one is significant as well. And the question, a lot of people know this already, what I'm about to say. But the question you need to ask yourself, yeah, as well, is that, yeah, remember, it's another lie. It's lie after lie. It's like Princess Diana, the whole world knows that they were murdered. Yeah? It's the same thing with my father, Tupac Shakur. If he was really gunned down in the middle of Las Vegas, yeah, if he was really gunned down in the middle of Las Vegas, how comes they still up until today that they haven't found the killer? Yeah, in the middle of Las Vegas. Remember this. Sorry, I was about to swear. This is a city, yeah. This is a city that never sleeps, yeah. This is a city that is like daytime all the time. Do you understand what I'm saying? They are feeding the public with lie after lie after lie.
Yes, mad. Who that? See edits.
Yo.
Well, go on. What are you saying, man? I know you've been listening still. What you got to say? You must have something to say to jump in like that so quick.
Nah, do you know what? I just jumped in.
Sorry?
You know, I'm a daredevil, man. I just jumped in and trying to catch up.
I'm
Jump
here with
in.
you still.
You get me? What's the hot topic?
Yeah, well, basically, we've been talking today about the Black Boule. We was talking about the community and the gatekeepers, and some uplifting stuff to to just enlighten our minds and get our minds thinking a certain way. And then Dan jumped on. He gave us a bit of a revelation. He was talking about his dad and his family and giving us a bit of background, because basically, long story short, you wasn't here. His dad is Tupac Shakur, but he never got to meet his dad because of controversy in the family. He wasn't told, he's got a brother who, is in the music industry as well, who is T.I., Tip Harris, whatever. And, he goes under the guise of that name, but that's not who he really is. So we've had some big revelations today still, I'm not going to lie, and I was
So
also
whose dad
saying,
is Tupac?
Say that again?
Whose dad is Tupac?
Yo, Shiffa.
He's in the room now.
Wow.
Shiffa, I can't hear you. It's cracking up, bro.
Wow, serious things, mate. Serious things, bruv.
Can you hear me now, Dan?
Bro, I can hear you, but it's bare fuzzy. It's bare fuzzy.
Do you know what it is? It's my signal, innit? What I'm going to do, I'm going to jump in and out of the room quickly, innit? So I can get some better signal. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to jump in and back, straight out and back in quickly. 1 second, yeah?
Cool.
So what's up, my brother? So what, your dad's Tupac? Hello,
Yeah,
can
bro.
you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So is
I can hear you, fam.
when he's talking about someone in the room, is your dad Tupac?
Yeah, my fault, bro.
What, Tupac is in Shaka?
Can you hear?
Yeah.
Can you hear me, fam?
I can hear you, my brother.
Yeah, my fault was Tupac, bro.
Seriously? Bloody hell, man.
Bro, you're cracking up, bro. The signal is bad still.
So well, since I'm jumping the revelation, how did your mum meet him?
Say that again?
How did your mum meet him?
Bro, I can't hear you. It's cracking up bad.
All right, Dan. Yeah, I think it's your reception. Yeah, jump out and jump back in. Try to get some better reception.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna see you.
Bad boy wants to see your face, fam.
Try connected to laptop.
Yeah, try and connect it to the laptop. Yeah, try and connect it to the laptop. That'll probably be better.
Yo, Shiffa.
Yeah.
Let me get my laptop. 1 sec.
Yeah, do that.
Laptop.
1 sec, Erds. 1 sec, one sec. I'm gonna take you out of the room, Dan. Yeah.
Bank boy, big yourself up, kid. Bank boy, London. When Daniel steps back in the room, we'll ask him, man. I don't know if he'll show his face, but we'll ask. But big yourself up in this cold time, my brother. Done now. You know what I mean? It's waiting for the signal to come back. You know what I mean? Yes, man. Respect, man, boy.
Yo. Yeah. I don't know what happened there. All the connections went mad there. Still, that was crazy. Can you hear me still, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Big up yourself, my brother. So, yeah, we're waiting for Dan to try and log in on a different platform. I think he's going to try and do it on a laptop. But yeah, so you basically you caught the tail end of it, but yeah, you got it right still. So long story short, I'm not gonna try and tell the story because I don't really know the story very well. Like I'd have to read it a couple of times first or something. But long story short, yeah, Tupac Shakur is his dad, and T.I. is his brother, and yeah,
So what you
there's
saying? T.I. is Tupac's son.
Tupac Shakur is
yeah.
So Tupac is T.I.'s dad.
Basically.
I never heard that before.
I know. That's why I said we had a revelation on the show today. Do you understand? You've heard some stuff you never heard before today, right here. So obviously,
right here, right now.
You know, like I said to Dan, like, I appreciate him sharing that as well, because at the end of the day, you know, there's got to be some significance to that. Why is it that, you know, why hasn't T.I. said this? Big man like T.I. Tip Harris, yeah? Like, come on, like, so when you put it like that, you know, the fact that Dan's the one coming and sharing it, you know, I think that's
don't look nothing like that guy T.I. don't look nothing like his father, really, does he? You know what I mean?
But when you think about it, you know, you take on.
I can't even say, like, looking at it. I'm not saying it's not his dad. If it's his dad, it's his dad. But you know, your youths normally resemble you.
Yeah, but you take on characteristics from both parents, innit? So at the end of the day,
it could be a smile, a feature, a resemblance. Some youths, they might not look like you, but when they smile or they do certain things or they get angry, you can see it. I can't see it in him, but you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's
maybe you wasn't looking. This is the thing now where what I'm going to say to you is, you know, if you're not looking for something, you're not going to see it, you know? And like, even if you look at what Bank Boy said, this man said, well, you look at Dan kind of look like him, you know? Like, even if you like certain pictures that I've looked at that I've seen with my own two eyes, I've seen documents, official documents, and look at them comparison. So, you know, I've never thought of that. I've never looked at T.I. and thought, do you resemble anyone other than, you know, himself? Because I don't know anyone to associate him to. Do you know, like that? So in that respect, like, man like Panero, Wagwan Kazi. But yeah, in that respect, I think like I'm not taking anything for granted, innit? Like, you know, and like it's different when it's someone you don't know saying something.
Like, so who's the unborn child? Because Tupac wrote a song, "Letter to My Unborn Child." Who's that?
I don't know, man. This is what I'm saying. Oh no, but I'm just saying, obviously, you know, I'm not taking lightly. Don't take nothing lightly in it, because, you know, like I said, you see the differences now. Yeah, you see if it's someone where, like, certain people I know, like, if you ain't got that type of integrity, like, I'll be honest, like, I probably will be silent right now. Do you know, like that? But
of course,
you see when that man's coming and he's pouring his heart out, and he's someone he's got integrity. It's different, isn't it? So I got to hold my corner and just say, well, you know, we heard it from him. We didn't hear it from Tip.
It's quite emotional still, you know what I mean? It's emotional situation.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. It's emotional. So even if you're asking him certain questions, remember, he might not want to reveal everything.
No, of course, my darling. I hear you.
Yeah.
But obviously, I'm a fan of his father, if that's the case. You understand?
Yeah.
You know? So I know Tupac in a sense where he's a photo image. You understand? He's one of them idols or you look at and you can picture his face. Do you get what I'm saying?
Well, when he came on camera, he has from what I saw of Daniel, he's got resemblance. What I saw.
No, I wasn't.
Strong resemblance.
Remember, I wasn't saying it's not his dad. That's not the point I'm making. I'm saying more in the case of T.I. I know what T.I. looks like, and you know, if Tupac, I don't know. Obviously, he's mixed. I don't know if T.I.'s never mixed. I don't know what he is, but he don't look mixed. The sort of like a red-skinned brother, yeah. And what I'm saying is, looking at him, you know, I can't see a resemblance, but that don't mean nothing. That's just me saying that I don't see a resemblance. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it ain't his pops or whatever. Someone could say that about me, about my dad, but I look like my dad. I have features of my dad. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
You know, I've got a I've got a son. He's mixed, but he's got pure features of me. Like if you put darker skin on him, he'll be just like me. Baby pictures for baby picture. So that's what I was getting at. I'm not saying Ti is not his. I can't say that. Can I? Only he can say that. But he's not come out and said that. But maybe for whatever reasons, as we're saying. So it's not
Yeah.
a touching on emotional to say to a man,
No,
blah
but
blah blah.
this is the point of this is the whole point that I'm making, in the sense that, you know, we're getting the revelation from Dan. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say? We're not getting it from Ti. And you look at the contrast there in the fact that this is someone who's in the public eye, you know, that's keeping these kind of secrets, whereas a man who's not in the public eye has come on there, and he's even expressed to another point, said, you know, anyone else who's holding secrets, don't keep the secrets. Let's talk these things, let these things out, because people need to know what's going on in it. Because then we're going to start to identify people for what they're really about and who they are, and we're not going to glorify certain things. Do you feel where I'm coming from? Because, like, I can say now, yeah, facts. Like, I got another brethren who's got a famous dad, and, you know, might have had a controversial childhood, you know, and it might have affected them in ways. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I'm not going to call out no names, because at the end of the day, it's for a man to talk his stories, not for me to talk a next man's story. That's not right. But in another respect, I can honestly say that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
you know the thing, Shift. As a Rasta man said, I and I. You have to talk about I and I. Understand? You can't talk about a next man. You know, only that man can talk his revelation. If that's what we're on about, you know what I mean?
But it's the right time for that kind of revelation to come, though, because, you know, we're here sitting here talking about gatekeepers, we're talking about Black Boule, we're talking about things, and at the end of the day, you know, for instance, even if I send everyone who's watching this video, who's gonna watch it in the future as well, you go back and you watch the Black Boule, you know, you could think to yourself, well, you know, it could be true. Is it true? Isn't it true? You could be a bit like, you know, on the fence with it, if you want to call it that, then, yeah. But then when you hear the kind of revelation you just heard now, it's going to make you think, well, why would someone keep a big secret like that? When we're talking about gatekeepers, yeah, because we're talking about gatekeepers, yeah, we're talking about keeping things back. We're talking about holding ourselves back or holding people back and keeping things. Gatekeepers. This guy's keeping some big secrets. You know, there's a lot of people that is keeping some big secrets, you know, so I think that's definitely something to bear in mind. I'm not going to say that that makes them the gatekeeper, you know, or it doesn't make them a gatekeeper. I'm just going to say, you know, that's something to bear in mind, that this, you know, people are holding big secrets out there, holding big cards and not saying things, you know, like a man said, you know, he got into music, but then he said he got into it for the wrong reasons, because he felt like he only started doing the music because he felt like he let his dad down and let people down, innit? You know, but then in another respect, you know, at the end of the day, you know, that doesn't mean that's the be all and end all. He can still do stuff now. He's in the right frame of mind now. He can still have voice now. So, you know, that's not the end of his story. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But as far as, you know, you know, I'm gonna come off of it now anyway. But as far as, for instance, like we've just heard, you know, Ti, you know, I think he'd have some explaining to do to his fans, to his audience. But obviously, at the same time, you know, it's a man's private life, so I can understand that aspect of it as well. But, you know, being big Ti, Tip Harris, big rapper, and all of that, and, you know, you want people to know that. You know, I don't know. Why wouldn't you want people to know that? What is there to be ashamed of? Talk to me. Like, but obviously, like I said, I'm gonna come off of that subject now, because I don't think it's really fair to discuss it anymore without Dan being here. Do you feel me? But yeah, man, I think it's been a good show. I'm glad everyone came with some, you know, something today, some energy, and, you know, we had some nice comments. You know, we had some revelations. We've had it all. You know, me and Annie, we had a nice discussion earlier, alive, about the Black Boule. and the gatekeepers and strategizing and thinking on how we can make ourselves stronger as a community, as well as how we can better our community, you know. And I think that the main thing I'm taking with me today, when I finish the show, when we lock off, when I go and lay my head down and I'm sleeping, thinking and, you know, meditating and reasoning with myself, you know, one of the main things I'm going to be taking from this is that you can't take nothing lightly no more. Yeah. Nobody. This ain't just for black people, it's for everyone. Can't take things lightly. You know, when you hear something, you know, listen and learn, innit? Because it might sound controversial, it might sound like it's outlandish, it might sound like, you know, a load of gas and air, but the fact of the matter still remains, like, sometimes it's gonna be a massive eye opener. Sometimes you're gonna hear some information that might just blow you straight out of the water. You know, you didn't even expect to get that today. You know, like that. Sometimes something crazy is just gonna happen. You know, someone just gonna be in mid-sentence and say something that it just wakes you up. You know, so I think like that's what I'm taking away from this. You know, and I've always been that way anyway. I like to, I believe in each one, teach one. I like to share information. I like to listen. You know, because everyone's going to be good in their own way, and everyone's going to know something. Everyone's going to be, you know, good in their little area, what they know about. So you just have to get them in their element, get them at the right time, give them the right avenue to speak, give them the right platform, give them whatever it is they need. Once they got the tools, then they flourish, and then, you know, we're gonna be building. That's what this is about. It's about building, you know.
Yeah.
As much as, you know, we're on here, we're talking about, you know, the wider community, we're building the community right here, and that's the whole point of this. You know, it's about who's here right now. It's
Yeah.
about what's happening here. Like, don't get me wrong, that don't mean to say that we're going to forget about, you know, the rest of the community when we come off the show, because I hope that everyone by now would have, you know, enlightened themselves to some extent and thought, you know what, when I leave this show, something about my life has changed a little bit. You know, just a little bit. Like, I've come off of here and it's like, I'm not gonna do this no more. I'm gonna change something, even if it's something small. Sorry, Dan, I'm gonna let you go on. You're back in it. I'm gonna let you jump back in.
I'm trying to do it on the I'm trying to do it on the laptop. Yeah, I've gone into StreamYard, I've set it up. Yeah, but I've set up my account and everything on the StreamYard. I've gone into the
You
YouTube.
still need the link.
When I've got the link, I typed in the link, the same link that you sent me via the text.
Yeah.
It's not coming up.
All right. So what you need to do is
How did you send it to him?
You know what it is? No, do you know what's happened? I'll tell you what's happened, yeah. So when we was on the stream before, I was on the laptop, remember, yeah? But the laptop kept messing around. So I've had to come off of the laptop, stop what I was doing on the other computer and put it on the other computer. So now it's changed the web address. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this web address and send that to you. Hold on 1 second.
The URL, has it changed?
Oh, no, it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. Are you sure you typed it in right?
Yeah. One sec.
No, it hasn't changed.
I wouldn't be on it. I wouldn't be able to be on it, would I?
Yeah, that would make sense. No, it ain't changed. What I'm gonna do, yeah. You see, if you go on your laptop, yeah, go onto YouTube, yeah. Can you find it? Can you get the YouTube channel up?
One sec. I think my girl was typing in the wrong one. She's typing in the top one. I'm gonna forward it to her now. She's gonna do.
Yeah, because even if you can't do it that way, if you go onto the YouTube channel, Panero's Mind, obviously hit the subscribe button as well. But if you play the stream, like, then you get the comment section at the bottom of the comments. It's got the link in the comments as well. You gone way clearer now though as well. I don't know if you just got better reception now.
Because I'm using her Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably better on the laptop though because it kills your phone battery fast. You know.
I got the charger on in anyways. It's cool.
Yeah.
Bad radiation.
Yeah, for real. Battery.
But yeah, man, like I was saying that I really appreciate you sharing that with us because sometimes people need that as well. They need to know that these things really happen. They need the revelation with the information.
Most definitely. And not only that, there's a lot of followers out there of Tupac. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of followers out of Tupac, and the thing is, let this be known. Yeah, I'm not. I could have come with this information a lot sooner. I'm not doing this for my own benefit. Yeah, I'm doing this because I see what is going on in the world. My girl's got it up now. Still, she's got it up. I can see myself on the laptop now, so I can do it from the laptop. Yeah, but like I said, let it be known. This information I shared today, I'm not doing this for my own benefit. I'm doing this because there's many people out there that are being misled, yeah, and they need to hear. They need to hear. Yeah, and I can come off the phone now because it wants it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you to be in your camera properly, and then I'm gonna put you up.
1 second.
No, still.
Yeah. That's better still. Better volume as well.
Yeah. Yeah, fam. So like I was saying, I'm not doing this for my own benefit. I'm doing this to enlighten people, you know, because there's a lot of corruption going on in this world, and a lot of people don't know this. There are some people that do know it, and some people are very ignorant. But there's a lot of people that don't know what is going on, and they need to know.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So, obviously, about this Black Boule stuff, like, have you watched the actual video?
I haven't watched it. That's why I asked you to send it to me. You sent it to me. Remember just now?
Yeah.
Half an hour ago, I asked you to send it to me. You sent it. So I'm gonna watch it. But I've watched bare shit about that. About the Illuminati.
Turn down the volume of the iTunes. Sorry, YouTube. Feeding back.
Turn down the volume.
Nah, it's me.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, go on, Dan. Sorry about that.
1 second. I need to turn.
Oh yeah. That's the madness. I can hear it now. Hold on.
Just turn off YouTube.
Nah. You see if that happens, you gotta mute your mic quickly and then put it back on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta turn your volume down.
It's got YouTube on.
Do you know what? You ain't got headphones, have you?
I haven't got headphones. It's because it's got YouTube on.
Is that the YouTube?
It's got YouTube in the background and it's playing and then it's just ricocheting.
I sorted it. It was my phone. My phone was on as well.
Oh, that's why. Yeah. I see you. Yeah, that's much better.
Yeah.
So what did you go on? What was you gonna say?
There was a guy that came on to the show. He was asking me some questions as well. Has he left now?
He's left now. He's probably in the background somewhere. I can probably get him back on. But who else was asking questions? I think Bank Boy said, "Can you turn your camera back on?" But your camera's back on now anyway, so
okay,
you can see who you are. But yeah. Long story short, I think he was just asking questions. He was saying that he's a big fan of Tupac, and you know, that was about it, really. I think he maybe had some more questions, but we didn't get that far because everything just went crazy. My thing crashed, and then you had to get back on. So I think he jumped off. I'll see if I can get him back on though. I'm just trying to restore my laptop as well so I can have my camera on, because on the computer I ain't got no camera, have I? Like, it's just
You got one dead computer, boy. Yeah,
No, do you know what it is? This computer that I'm on now is not set up for this, innit? It's not. It's not
I'm
supposed to
only
be
playing.
doing this.
I'm only playing, Shiffa.
It's not set up for that. But I've got the laptop up and running still,
I'm
so
playing. I'm playing.
I'll be back in a second. Still, I'm
You
just
know what I'm
literally
like.
getting it running now.
I
Still,
get joking there every now and then.
he's back. He's back. Hold on, let me just add him back in. There he is. Man, like edits. Simia.
Simia.
Yo, edits.
Yo, edits.
Yo.
So what was
So
you
what was
saying
you saying to Dan before you
cut off? Can you hear me?
Go on, Shiffa, you got microphone. Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Yeah, what was you trying to say before?
No, what I was saying is, I got told off by some lady in the group.
Who told you what?
Yo.
Who told you what? Steve
Yo.
Edit.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, what? Talk to us, man. Talk.
Yeah, what I was saying is, right? Obviously, as a Tupac fan, yeah, I've seen Daniel, but I didn't need to see what he looked like because I like the man's legacy, Tupac's legacy, you understand?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's an interesting subject in a sense. That's the man's view. You know, how was he born? You know, did he know him? Did he meet him? It's interesting, bro. You know?
Yeah. No, unfortunately, I never got to meet him.
Sorry about that, brother.
That's the sad thing about it, innit? But like I was saying, like I said to Shiffa, that Tupac, the majority of Tupac's songs, yeah, if not all of the songs, was about his life, innit? And that tune, Brenda's Got a Baby, that tune Brenda's Got a Baby is a real song.
Yeah. No, I hear you, Cuzzy. I hear you, man. You know, it's emotional, cuz. It's emotional still.
Yeah, it is. But even for myself, for many years, it was very emotional. You know, I found it hard to deal with because I only found out when I was 21. I found out the truth when I was 21. So like my mum and my family, they done a good job hiding it from me. Obviously, when I was, I'd say 17, around 17, that's when I started becoming suspicious. Because obviously people used to say that I looked like him and stuff like that. And I used to have one of them T-shirts. You know, you can get them T-shirts with the idol or the musician or whatever you want to call it on the T-shirt. I used to have this T-shirt on there, and like when I used to look in the mirror, I could see it as well. I could see it myself, but it's something that
people probably come up to you saying that in a way.
Yeah, people used to say it to me. Even girls used to say to me. They used to say to me, "Oh, you look like someone, but I don't want to say I don't want to say who because you're gonna get a big head, you know." But all these times when these people were saying it to me, I never had a clue. Obviously, I could see the resemblance, but I never had the slightest clue that he was actually my dad until it was actually said to me. Till I had that first conversation with my brother, and he said it to me. But even from that conversation, I believed it because it was a deep conversation. And even when I had that conversation, I ended up crying. And I said to him, "How am I going to be like him?" Because at school, even Shiffa knows me from school. At school, I was a classroom clown. I used to deliberately get myself kicked out of class sometimes and go play football. All I wanted to do was play football. That was my dream. So I must have been saying to my brother, "How am I going to be like him?" And then he was like, "D, you can still go to school. You can still learn. I mean, you can still." He's like, "D, you can still learn and stuff like that." And then I ended up falling back on the bed, and then like I was emotional. And then I ended up falling asleep. I woke up in the morning, and he was there. And then I didn't say nothing to him. I just built up a scud. started banging the skull. I didn't say nothing to him. He left, and I left it as that. And then I knew that I had to address the situation and see my mum, but my mum was avoiding me. She was avoiding me for a long time. And then I went to my granddad's. My nan turned up, and my nan could tell that I wasn't myself, and she asked me what's wrong. And I said, you know what's wrong. And she said, is it about what you written a letter to your mom? Because I wrote a letter to my mom as well, asking her, is Tupac my father? And then my nan turned around and said to me, is it about what you written a letter to your mom about Tupac being your dad? And I said, yeah. She said, and then she turned around and said to me, Tupac is your father. He's your real father. All you got to do is take off your head and put it on his head to know that he's your father. So that was the second time that it was clarified to me by my nan. But I always knew that something was wrong as a child. Even as a child, I always knew something was wrong because of the way my mum was carrying on. My mum, she would tell me that this fool, my stepdad, was my dad. And then certain times when I say to her, I'm going to live with him, she'd turn around and say, he's not your dad. She'd be crying. She'd be sitting there in the chair just crying for no reason. For no reason. I always knew something was wrong. I knew she was hiding something from me. One time it's strange because even now as I look at it as a big man, one time we went to Spain and I was just a kid. And they'd done some little talent show. And me and my two cousins, we went up on the stage to sing. I didn't even want to go up there and sing, but we was forced to go up there and to sing. So I went up there and sang. And when my mum was crying uncontrollably, I couldn't understand why she was crying uncontrollably. But now I know why she was crying uncontrollably, because when she see me up there on the stage, it just brought back memories, isn't it? So there's many things that many things that happen over time. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, basically. But obviously, my nan confirmed it, and my brother confirmed it. But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? That's all I can say.
Yeah. Serious thing, bro.
Have you done a DNA?
Do you know the funny thing about that? Do you want to hear the joke thing about that? Because I ended up going to prison. I ended up going to prison for they ended up charging me for manslaughter for my stepfather, innit? Because I ended up killing my stepfather. So basically, I got charged with manslaughter. And it was at the Old Bailey. And then all of a sudden, every case that is at the Old Bailey usually goes on TV, broadcasted on TV that the person has been convicted. Then all of a sudden, it got changed. Yeah? They shipped me out to Bedford prison, and they done it in Bedford, and then I ended up going to Bedford Crown Court. Yeah. And then they tried to section me. And say, instead of giving me a prison sentence, they sectioned me under the Mental Health Act, trying to say that I was mad because so it all worked in my favor. It helped me in a way anyway. And then what they done, I wanted a DNA test. Basically, I wanted a DNA test because I knew that the deceased wasn't my real father. So what they done a DNA test for the deceased, and they turned around and said, this man may not be his father. Another African American could be. Right. So I've never had a test. I've never had a DNA test for Tupac being I've never had that test.
No, it could happen.
Yeah.
It could still happen.
Yeah, it definitely can still happen. Yeah, it definitely can still happen. Like one of my good friends, one of my good friends, his son is a I'm not going to say his name, but one of my good friends, his son is a celebrity, yeah, and he even I sat down and spoke with him, and he said to me as well the same thing, that he could look into it. He could look into it because he knows certain people. He could look into it and help me. And I said to him, listen, it's gone beyond that because I know the truth. I know the truth.
Yeah. You know who you are.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said to him. I know who I am. So no matter what anybody says to me, yeah, I don't care. Like, you know. So, and like Shiffa was saying as well, like this information, like I've said it to I said it to a lot of people before in the past, and people look at me like, some people have looked at me like I'm mad as well, you know. But now, and certain things that I enlightened certain people on years ago, yeah, they're coming back to me now and saying, D, you know what, you're right about certain things that you said about the system and so they're seeing it for what it really is.
Yeah, 100%.
At the same time, Cuzzy, you know, what I look at is, you know, it depends on you as a person. If you if you know that it's your dad, so where do you go with a DNA result? Does it matter to you really? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying?
You know what? It matters to me, innit? Because obviously I know, like I know, like for instance, yeah, if the sky is blue, yeah, you can't tell me that the sky is not blue. Do you understand what I'm saying? If it is actually blue, you're not telling me that the sky is not blue. You can't tell me that it's grey. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? If it's not, so I know the truth. But the thing is, what I know about the system is that the system, they tell lie after lie after lie. So if they don't really want you to know something, yeah, if I have this DNA test, yeah, they can come up and they might even come up and try chat shit about that as well. So I apologize for swearing there again, but yeah, they might come up and chat rubbish about that.
Because
But
what
like
I'm saying is, Dan, yeah, if you found out, like, say now you found, all right, boom, you got the DNA and it was positive, yeah, right? Would you take that to say, right, you want to know, because there's family members, obviously, you don't know, innit? Like,
exactly.
Aunts, cousins, nephews, nieces, whatever. It's a part of your family that you don't know, innit?
Exactly.
You know,
But
so that could be important to you.
It's very important. It's very important.
Hear a thing though, yeah. Not even to interrupt you, man. Yeah, like I don't know, like my girl, she's listening in it, so she's probably just sending me stuff like to help us out in it. But she just sent me a picture of Tupac's dad. Yeah. Now this picture that I'm looking at of Tupac's dad, fam, like it looked like I should have laughed. Can you hear me?
What's wrong with Bad Boy? See edits, man. What's going on?
Oh no, but yeah, you look like this picture bad as well. So those genes are strong. Them genes are strong. Hey, can you hear me all right?
You see, obviously, Shiffa, you've seen the picture when my hair's cut short, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, obviously, like me now, for a couple of years now, I keep my hair plaited or I keep it in a ponytail. And the reason why I do that is because it's not that I'm running from who I am, but it just brings back bad memories in it. So that's why I keep it like that. But the moment I cut my hair short, yeah, or I put that bandana around my head, like you've seen the picture, you can see it. Even you can see it. But obviously, you just said that your girl sent you a picture as well, Shiffa, as well of my granddad. Yeah, my granddad. I'm saying, yeah, you're saying it looks like me. So it is what it is, man.
But I was gonna ask you one more question, yeah. So as far as TI, how did you find that you obviously when you found out about the TI thing, it was your nan, wasn't it? You said told you.
Listen, I'm gonna be real with you, yeah. Listen, at that time there, yeah, if I see what Annie was talking about, how blacks are killing blacks and stuff like that, yeah, and red tear.
Yeah.
I'm a sensible guy, innit? I see a lot of things. I see my mum go through a lot of things as a kid, yeah, as well with guys, innit? She always liked that gangster kind of guy, innit? So I grew up in a household of pure madness, yeah. But when I found out, bro, yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that I grew up with my brother, yeah, and we knew each other as cousins. Like I said, that tune, Brenda's Got a Baby, is a real tune, yeah. We knew each other as cousins, innit? But if I never grew up with him, yeah, it hurts me to say this. I most really would have done him, brother. I most really would have done him because he took the piss. Like he could have, him and the family, they could have sat down and spoke to me on a level, yeah. But for him to go and release that album, yeah, and then for me to go to the shop and see this album and think that like like I'm going mad. I'm looking at this album and saying to myself, this brother looks like this brother. He looks like him, you get me? And then when I go
Hold
home
on,
and I
are you talking about Ti?
yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, go on, my
Exactly.
bad.
Yeah. And then when I confront him about it, he's like I said, when I said earlier on, I confronted him about it, he was denying it. He was trying to deny it and going like it's not him. And then it's only when I reacted the certain way that I did, and I end up going to prison, and my mum come to the prison with my nan, and then when she came to the prison, obviously I was emotional again. I said to her, if you didn't want me to be like my dad, why didn't you just let me play football? But she stopped me from playing football, innit? So there was times when she stopped me from playing football. So I said to her, why don't you just let me play football? And then my nan turned around to my mum and said, just tell him the truth. Tell the boy the truth. And then my mum got emotional. And then my nan turned around and said, don't worry, Dan. You can do music just like, she said my brother's name did. And then she realized what she said. And she put her hand over her mouth as if to say, oh, I shouldn't have said that. And then I turned around and said to her, how am I supposed to do that? And then she said, you know the same people that he knows. But obviously obviously I know them, but I don't know them because I've never met them. I know the same. Everyone knows the people that my father associated with. Yeah, like for instance Snoop Dogg and stuff like that. But I don't know them.
Yeah.
You understand? I've never met them. Yeah, he's met them. I've never met them.
Well, this is the thing now. So, like, obviously, Ti, if man go on, like, someone else has sent me something now, yeah? So, if I go on to Wikipedia and I type in Ti and I try to find out who Ti's dad is, it says his father resided in... Can you hear me?
Yeah, go on.
It says his father resided in New York City and he would often go there to visit. Buddy Harris suffered from Alzheimer's disease and died from the disease. T.I. began rapping at the age 8. So there's not really a lot of information in regard to who this father is, but they're suggesting that his dad is someone called Buddy Harris. Now, if that's his stepdad, and so does he actually know though? That's what, obviously, if he actually knows, then
of course he knows. We wouldn't have had that conversation. We wouldn't have sat down and had that conversation if he didn't.
But
know.
why is he quiet about it though? I don't understand that. This is what I don't understand. Like because
what you said early on in the show, yeah, he's too far in, brother. This brother is too far in. That's how I feel. He's too far in. He's afraid to talk up about certain things because he's too far in. That's the way I see it. That's the only way I can see it because he's such a pussy to not be real about the situation.
Yeah, it's mad, and to be so high profile as well, especially in the industry that he's in. Like, it's shocking to me. I'll be honest, it's shocking. You know, which rapper, like, you know, if you're a rapper and Biggie Smalls is your dad, go on. What you gonna say?
Have you ever seen that the thing? Have you seen that Fulka the documentary Fulka Bao 1/10 part? Sorry, Fulka Bao part 1/10, and it talks about you see it shows you about certain people that are in control of the world: Rockefeller, Rothschilds, and George Soros, all these evil people and stuff like that, and all these. I have
a brief understanding of it, or a brief understanding, yeah.
And the activists, you know about what an activist is, isn't it? How they send people like these people how they control the media and stuff like that, and then you got the activists that when they broadcast something, they send people in to and they act and stuff like that. You see, there's this woman, I can't remember her name, yeah, but she has been in 4 main headline stories, yeah. The same woman, but with different names. They've used this woman 4 or 5 times, yeah. The same woman, you can see it's the same woman, yeah. They just changed their hairstyle, whatever. Yeah. Change their hairstyle, change their name, yeah. Yeah. These people are taking the piss, bro. They are misleading the public.
I've seen something like that before. That's why I started laughing, you know. I've seen something like that before where they've got the same person, but they're acting like there's someone new talking about something.
These people are so dangerous, bro. I know you're a smart guy, and I know there's many guys out there and women that are very smart. And these people are dangerous people. They're dealing with anagrams. They're dealing with numerology. What's that other word? The other word. Demetria or whatever it is. Have you seen that? Have you seen that video about the George Floyd thing? The psycho. Have you seen that video? About the psycho?
Nah. Send me that one.
I'm gonna
I
send
haven't
you
seen that.
bro.
No. I've heard some controversial stuff surrounding the whole situation, but I'm not going to go into that right now. So, like, obviously, send me the video so I can have a look at that one.
I'm gonna send you the videos too. I'm gonna send you the videos too. But this thing is deep, bro. This thing is deep. Trust me. This thing is deep. It's they're playing us, bro. They are playing everyone. They're trying to divide us.
Boy, I'll be honest with you. After tonight, I don't think anyone who watched this show tonight can really take it for granted. And, you know, that's what I want for everyone who's been watching tonight. You know, stay tuned into the show and, you know, let's bear these things in mind. And if anyone else has got any information that they can share to help enlighten us further, you know, on other people in similar scenarios or other people who are hiding things or, you know, keeping things or however you want to look at it, like, please, you know, feel free, jump on, man, because I think that's the only way you really affect change. People have to see something that is significant enough. You know, they have to see evidence. It can't all just be conspiracy and, you know, discussion. Sometimes it has to be show and tell. And, you know, like I can't ask for better, to be fair. And it's good though, because, you know, it shows that also, like, I'm a believer. I believe in the Most High too. So I think that we're all guided in it. So even in Annie saying, you know what, we want to do this show today. I'll be honest, like I said earlier on in the show when me and Annie was talking, I think certain people might think we've been over this subject however many times before, but in us going over it this time, so much more has come out today. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
so
and
everything is necessary, man.
It inspired Daniel to come on, and that's important that he can express himself and he's got a platform where he feels safe and confident to come on and express himself. And I think that's really, really important. And obviously our conversation, you know, triggered something in him to say, no, I need to come on. I need to tell my story. People need to hear this. And what that does, it just makes it more believable to know that anything is possible, you know, and we can't, like we're saying about the Boule, Shiffa, you know, the Boule is like, people will think, oh, can't be right. What? And you kind of pick up yourself and you think, no way. But anything is possible. Like, and I totally believe Daniel. I don't see why he would have to lie about something like that. Yeah, I totally believe you, Daniel, and I really respect the fact that you have come on, expressed yourself, you know, what you've been through, people who possibly try to persecute you for who you are. That's not your fault. Just don't ever take no guilt on for that. You are who you are. Be proud of who you are and stand firm. You're the king. Yeah, so don't watch nothing.
Exactly. That's what I've come to realize in these last couple of years. That's what I've come to realize.
Yeah.
Before, like even when I was locked up, when they had me locked up, it's like they wanted me to shut up. They didn't want me to. They didn't want me to acknowledge because who I was. Yeah, and I remember speaking to my best friend. Shiffa Don will know him as well, innit? Yeah, you remember Blakey, Leon Blake?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, that was in Harvey.
Yeah, of course I remember. Come on.
Yeah. So I remember speaking to him now, and he's like, "D, you got to do what you got to do to get out of there. Yeah, you know the truth. You know the truth. So even if you tell them what they want to hear, you just got to tell them what they want to hear just to get out of there. But as long as you know the truth, you know that's the main thing. And if it wasn't for him, there was no way that I would have been getting released from there because I was not going to denounce who I was. Yeah, there was no way. There was no way that I was going to denounce who I was because, for one, I should be proud of who I am. I should be proud of who my father was. Yeah,
That's right.
but they don't. They. The thing is, they don't want me to be proud of who I am. They don't want me to know this information. Because they want to oppress black people. Yeah, they want their or people that have a voice. People that are not afraid to speak. Yeah, they're the ones that they
Yeah.
want to. They're the ones that they want to put shackles on them, or to put a mask over their face.
Muzzle them, and
Exactly, yeah.
that's why they got all these masks out. They want to muzzle everyone, mate. You're not the only one, I tell you. Because I heard that, not taken away from you, Daniel, but you see about all this muzzling and everything like that. They're putting masks on us now. They don't want to hear our voices anymore, you know. They don't even want people to speak to each other. They don't want us to communicate. You know how hard it is to talk to someone without with that mask on. Everything gets muffled. So they're trying to stop us right now from communicating. And as much
they've been doing that. They've been doing that from slavery. I got this image, this picture that someone sent me, and it shows you the mask that they've got a lot of these people wearing today, and then they show the mask of back in the day with the slaves, and they say that symbolically they were forced to wear their mask so that people had black people never had a voice to speak.
Yeah.
And so that they can control people.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing that they're doing now. It's the same thing that they're doing now. They're just doing it in a more
subtle
way. Yeah, they're doing it in a more subtle and discreet way.
Sadiq Khan has now said that everyone, I think there's something he's saying that soon everyone has to wear masks in shops and all of this rubbish, trying to suffocate people.
They started it on the bus as well. On the bus, they're talking
about it's on the bus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to suffocate people.
Yeah, it's bad still. It's mad.
It's not good for you because you're breathing in carbon dioxide. You know what I mean? You're breathing in something wrong. It's not. You're not supposed to. You're breathing in something wrong. You're supposed to be oxygen, not carbon dioxide.
All this, this 5G thing that's been going on as well. The radiation from the 5G, this is mad. And not only that, the stories about them spraying stuff in the air and stuff like that. It's not good at all.
Yeah, and they're trying to block out the sun.
Yeah, that's of course. Yeah, because the sun thing as well. Definitely.
But this is why it's. Say that again.
Did someone put up something about the Boule?
Yeah, I think this is why as well. Like at the end of the day, we have to be conscious of, especially when people try to, what's the word? They try to diminish things, and like they'll sweep something under the carpet, put it under the guise of conspiracy, and now it's not even something that's actual. You're not supposed to take it seriously no more, are you? Because it's conspiracy now. That's what they do, you know. So we have to be careful, like, you know, what kind of communities as well we're talking within, you know, and releasing information, and you know who's privy to it. You know, I think enough's been said today. Do you feel what I'm trying to say? But you know, off the camera, like I said, it's just about how we stand in life, you know, and what we stand for. And I think, you know, like I said, the way Dan's coming here today, I've always known him to be a guy that's, you know what he said when we was in school, he liked to be the class clown. He just wanted to play football, but at least he was sticking to something. That's what he wanted to do. He's a man of integrity. If he says he's about this, that's what he's about. You know, he's not the kind of person that's just going to come and say something half-heartedly. So like, I want everyone to take that in perspective and just understand that that's what our community is about. So when you come over here, don't come over here half-hearted. You know, like that. Don't come over here on some, you know, we're not here playing games. We're seriously discussing these things. We're really passionate.
Exactly.
You know,
so, we ain't got time to play games, man. There's too many lives at risk. There's too many lives at risk. We ain't got time to be playing games, man. Trust me. We want a better society. Yeah. If we can't get it for our generation, we want it for our kids. We want it for your kids.
That's right.
You know, so we need this change, man. We need this change.
True talk. Well, I'm
Yeah.
out, and respect Shiffa, respect Daniel. Really nice
Yeah.
meeting you, Daniel. And
Been a good one.
you know, I feel like I'm meeting, you know, the legacy of Tupac. So it's nice, you know.
Come on.
I've
Come
met
on.
you, you know, I can say I've spoken to Tupac's son. And thank you, Shiffa, for having me. I think we had a good discussion earlier anyway. Enough
Yeah.
said and all of that. But yeah, it led to this good ending for my show, for my part of the show. So thank you both. Have a good night.
Yeah, man.
See you next
You
Yeah,
time.
too.
bless her, Annie, man.
All
You
right.
too.
Bye.
Take care.
Yeah, man. I think to wrap up as well, what I want to say is like, I don't know what you're doing Sunday, but it'd be nice to have you back on Sunday, Dan. But I think on Sunday, like the subject is going to be more geared towards something a bit different still. We're going to come off of this because I don't want every show to be, you know, just about Black community all the time. You know, we're a channel that this channel is based on information, and the show, you know, likes to we want to share information and build awareness on all areas of life for
Most
all
definitely.
people, but we still concentrate on our community where we can, because we're about our community first, isn't it? If we're not strong, how can we help anyone else? Don't make no sense. So, you know, that I don't want people to get deterred and think, oh, do you know what? They're not really interested in the community like that. They're just having one show about it. No, we're interested, but you know, we've got to discuss other things as well. There's other important things going on. Like, for instance, the other day, it's like when we done the show about the meteorites, and I know a lot of people were listening to that show. I'm thinking probably similar to what they was when they was hearing this show today. Like, and then you get the revelation because we show you the video with the meteorite dropping out the sky, hitting the floor, burning, hitting buildings, hitting fields, hitting things. You know, if that's your head, you're done in it. Like, or
Serious.
you might get lucky. Who knows? But either way, it's something to be aware of. So I'll keep you informed anyway, because we're in contact differently. But it was really it was a pleasure having you, my brother.
Yeah, man. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to come onto the show, bro. Safe for
Yes, my
inviting me onto
brother.
the show. It's a shame. It's a shame because I should have come onto it a long time ago. Actually, you invited me on it before, and even tonight, you like I should have been on it from the start. But you know,
No, you're good. Don't even look at it like that. You could just listen. You arrive when you arrive. You know, everything's good.
everything, you know what it is. Everything
Everything's good.
is God willing. Yeah, everything is God willing. You know, like, after our footsteps, well, my footsteps is guided by the Spirit of God. So everything happens for a reason, you know? So yeah, most definitely. But yeah, shout me in it Sunday. Sunday,
Yeah,
I'll make myself available from now. But just
yeah,
shout me and let me know. Let me know where I go on.
100%. We'll probably start a little bit earlier, but I think you're definitely a good addition to the show. So don't be a stranger, yeah?
Yeah, fam. No worries, man. Cool, man.
All right, my cuz. Love you.
All right. Love, bro. Take care. Bless up.
All right, done now. All right, people. So we're heading out. Like, big up yourselves. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you're new to it, I hope you hit the like button, the subscribe button. You left a comment. You know, let me shout out to everyone who's left comments, who's been in the chat room. Out to Bank Boy, whole heap of comments. Don P, Panero's Mind. Done know every time hosting us on the channel, appreciating it every time. Out to who goes there. Yeah, done know, big up yourself. Chrissy, every time, big up yourself. Loving the support there. Appreciate it. Out to Nads. And yeah, we're all good. We're all good. Bless up, and I'll see you guys on Sunday, 8:30. Don't be late, yeah? We're out. Love.